What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Italian Stallion, here for another episode of Rebels with a Cause. You know what time it is, baby. It's Wednesday nights. It's 9:30, and you know what time that means. It's time for the cause, because that cause don't stop when the clock hits zero. Can you believe it, guys? We are now in November, and it's kind of bittersweet. It's playoff time. It's high school playoffs. First committee rankings were released last night. You know, teams are jockeying even in the NFL right now for playoff seeding. And we wait all year for football, and it just goes by so fast. Honestly, it really does. But I'll tell you this, for my right now, particularly one, I got this left right here, and I'm all in. And I got this card that basically says, why not? So, last chip, all in on Friday night. Why not? The last three state champions meet Friday night in Sevierville. Weather's not going to be nice. Perfect recipe. Perfect recipe. No one gives us a chance. I like the odds. Shock the world. That's all I'm going to say. Or shock Knox County. Simple as that. But I'm all in. So, dubs up right off the bat. So, got a great show tonight. Got a really fun panel tonight as well. Got a lot to say, got a lot to talk about. I mean, my goodness. College basketball's back, thank God. College football playoff rankings were revealed. My teams took it on the chin this past weekend, man. Saturday was a rough day. All weekend was a rough weekend for your boy, the Stallion. But that being said, one thing that did get great is the fact that we now have 126 subscribers, over 18 views. I mean, keep hitting that like and subscribe button. Tell you, it's all love from over here. And as we continue to expand the channel and more shows come to the channel, and more views and subscribers, the sky's the limit for us. So, but I thank you from this stallion from the bottom of my heart. But as always, got some housekeeping business. The views and opinions of this program are not affiliated with those of any other organization or of Knoxville West High School. This is solely the RWAC Crew's views. That's myself, the Italian Stallion. That's two-pair Tate, Brian Tate, the coach himself, Mr. Shane O'Mac, big game Kerry Reeves, and even when he's on himself, the Tower of Power, Mr. Brad Halloway. So if anything, just remember that. Also, if you've got something to say, please get on that mini chat box live, point out when we've inaccurately said something, and voice your opinions. Remember, it's just as much your cause as it is ours. Also, just got some quick sponsors to give some love to King Chamber, Miss Kim Castle. They're off of Washington Pike. She'll you will get the royal treatment there at King's Chamber. 2 tasty beverages, haircuts, beard trims, manicures, pedicures. Let them know that Rebels with a Cause sent you. She's even got a little holiday special going on, depending on what you want to do. So definitely give her some love. Also, it's getting chilly. 35 degrees, I believe, Monday morning. So why not go hit up Knoxville Coffee Company and our boy, a class of 2003 grad, Alex Thatcher. They're off Sutherland Avenue in the heart of Marble City. That brew is good any time of the day, and it gets so go catch them before they close, and make sure that you're nice and warm and toasty before it gets really cold outside. So also, if you're looking for the more traditional thing, go hit up the Razor Shop Barbershop of Knoxville. See Josh Finker, Corey. Let them know that 2-pair Tate and 332 Studios, as well as Rebels with a Cause, sent you. Hopefully they'll get you taken care of in all things that you need done. They do a great job over there. And speaking of our guys, Big Fact Sports Network, follow them over 332 Studios if you haven't already. Got some unbelievable stuff going on over there. So, definitely hit them up. That being said, got to bring on the panel, man. I'm going to tell you this. It has been, what is up, Rocky? My guy, Rocky, who was on Stallions night, 62 views, brother. So I really appreciate Italian Stallion, exactly right, baby. Rebels with a Cause tonight, where we talk all things high school football, college football. We got some college basketball, some pro football. We're going to talk it all. But first and foremost, got to get our guys on here. First and foremost, listen, one of my OGs. I mean, come on, there is about it. You know who he is, a Mr. 2003 grad. I mean, when you say we need to be said, it's this: is that basically it's a game going called. He's going to be doing it. Give him a mic, he entertains. Mr. 2003 West, coming up on 20 years of calling the Running Rebels and Lady Rebels basketball, going on his second year doing the Panthers and Lady Panthers, coming at you from Pellissippi State. But let's bring him on, the one, the only, Brian Tate. What is up, baby? How you doing tonight?
And I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Man, basketball season is here.
Thank God, man. I'm telling
Just
you.
yeah, right. Just got done covering the Lady Panthers. They played South Georgia Lady Jets last night and won convincingly. Um, Big shout out to Maya Moore. Um, So Maya Moore, who's playing incredible, Amelia Richardson, Ellie Links, Laney Cox, the Crick twins, TK Hastings. This team is deep. Alicia Pollard, like
That's great to hear, man. That's
it's
great to
it's
hear.
crazy. The girls team, the guys team, um, they I want to say 1-1 on the season. They beat Union the night before last. And I wanna give a big shout out to Coach Jones. Coach Jones did something that I haven't seen done in a long time.
Hmm.
Pellissippi State men's basketball team won by 20 points, and they ran for almost 10 to 15 minutes after that game.
That's got Syracuse not playing hard against
Yeah,
Connecticut, and then him making them run
yeah,
sprints afterwards in the Carrier Dome. Wow.
and I want to say to Coach Jones, him doing that showed something to me where it's like we won by 20, but that wasn't an impressive 20 win, like
Mm.
20-point win. So yeah, it's something that struck a chord with me because we see it on the football field, and now we're seeing it on these basketball games where if you're winning by 20 or 25 points, and it's not one of those convincing 20 to 25 points.
I'll tell you,
Totally
that's the
different.
standard that needs to be set. That's the standard
Yeah,
that needs to be set.
yeah,
There's entirely too much money. I mean, not at this level, obviously, but in
yeah,
general,
exactly.
you know, it's these are the standards. And I'll tell you this: after what we watched in March, particularly when it came to basketball, no lead is safe. And until that
Right.
clock gets zero, you better keep putting the pedal to the metal, man. Honestly,
And
and don't
and
lift that
and
foot off the gas.
and I'm glad you said that because we've seen it a lot. We've seen it a lot in these games where if you're not playing hard, it's going to be noticeable. Even if you beat the team you're supposed to beat, you're starting to see that right now. Like NBA is revving up.
Hmm.
Um, we just finished. We just finished baseball.
Hmm.
We're in the thick of football, where you know I saw one of the craziest posts. Um, it compared Josh Heupel and Steve Sarkisian. You probably have seen this post where it shows
Hmm.
Sarkisian's record over the 5 years and how like they were a 7-3 ball club when he came in, and that he's looked at as a top five coach. Where Heupel comes in, they were 3-7, and he's
completely changed the culture. Like he got it back. Tennessee's back in the conversation, even with a loss like that. You know, and it's like I feel like people are jumping to the gun on.
I think so too.
It's like, dude, do you want to? You see what the coaching pool is like right now for coaches? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So,
And I'm going to throw something out that might hurt some people's feelings. I think that with what kind of Tennessee was handed and had to deal with in the offseason, to get what we've gotten out of
right,
Joey Aguilar and,
right,
almost being left at the altar, left for dead, I think that we've surpassed expectations, I mean,
absolutely.
and here's the thing, we're one quarter and one kick away from really just having a loss to Alabama on the road, which was very self-imposed and everything.
Yeah,
But we've taken care of business against everybody else. I mean, maybe Arkansas and Mississippi State were closer than it should be, but Mississippi State should have beaten Texas. I mean, Arkansas had A&M on the ropes.
Florida should have beaten Georgia.
Florida should have beaten Georgia. I mean, so it's the SEC, and this is a bloodbath. This isn't the baby gap. And if you look at the playoff rankings, and I'll show those here in a little bit, you have, I mean, if a season were to end right now, you'd have 5 SEC teams being represented right now. 5 of the 12.
Yeah, 5 of the 12.
5 of the 12.
And you look at it, is Ohio State the best team in college football? Like, because of who they've played or who they've beaten?
Yeah. I mean,
I look at that Indiana team and I'm like, they went into Oregon. They slayed a huge giant.
They're bad dudes over there, man, and they have fun beating up teams and so forth. So, but let me get the other panel on here, see what they want to see. Yeah, if he's giving me the thumbs up, listen, another OG from the beginning here. He first was our stats guy, the behind the scenes dude, and then he transitioned, got nicknamed the coach because he is a coach, and we always appreciate the X's and O's and that perspective he brings to the table. So, listen, you give him the love and support that he deserves. Shout out whether you're watching live or recorded, wherever you're watching. Here comes the money, Mr. Shane O'Mac, Shane McGee. What is up, baby? How you doing tonight?
Oh, man, great night to be alive. Can't wait for the rest of this week. This is my favorite night of the week. Like BT says, shout out Lane Cox over at Mississippi, Bearden grad, watch her since middle school. Go ahead, you go do your thing out there. Mississippi State. Man, college football is crazy right now.
It is.
Yeah, man. It's wild to see, you know what I'm saying?
The amount of coaching turnover that we have seen this year mid-season.
Mid-season.
It's crazy.
Yep.
We've never seen it mid-season.
Not like
this.
Yeah, we've seen some. Like, we knew Fulmer was gone back in 2008. You've seen a couple others here and there, but damn near half our conference is changing coaches.
Yeah. And might even be trading coaches, too.
Yeah.
There's some programs, particularly one to the north of us, that's located in Lexington. Who probably should already got rid of their coach.
He's on borrowed time.
You hold on to him till next year, because every other desirable job is available.
Between us, I have 2 theories behind it that I'll share once I get our other panelist on. Obviously, he's joined the show as of late. He has his own segment on this show, and hopefully will be a part of some other shows as well. But I'll tell you, the name says it all, because when there was a big game in town, he was the SRO officer that was at that game. Football, basketball, Didn't matter. He made sure we were having a good time because you knew it was a big time game going on. So give him the love and respect he deserves as we bring him on. Big game, Kerry Reeves.
What's up? And like James said earlier, I'm all in, baby. Look at the money.
He's
Look at
got
the money.
he's got it in there. Look at that, man. I'm down to my last chip right here, man. I'm down to the last chip. So that's it.
All in, baby, with the money. How's everybody doing tonight?
We're great, man. The family's together. The family, the brotherhood's together.
This is the best night of the week. Feeling
good.
good.
It's the first time we've all been on at the same time early.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right on it, man. Right on it.
College football, the coaching turnover right now is just crazy. And I think it's going to get even crazier than it's already been. And that's a scary thought. There may be some openings that nobody sees coming because there's some coaches that are probably going to take some of these vacancies.
Yep.
Right.
Ole Miss is going to be looking for a new coach.
And we're not even getting to the NFL yet.
Yeah. Oh, the bloodletting day is coming very soon. I mean, even though we've already got a few. Well, obviously, my theory real quick, and you guys can discuss it too. And of course, if we want to jump right into the college football real quick and so forth, then we can do the high school, whatever you guys want to do. You all drive this show as well. The week, those were the top 25 results, a few upsets in the top 10, obviously. But the college football storylines was obviously another Sunday came and went, and Hugh Freeze was let go. Top 10 teams losing on the road. Dabo was fined $10,000 for criticism of the refs. And of course, the first playoff rankings were revealed this week on Tuesday. I will put those rankings up here in a minute, scrolling across the bottom. But my theory is that I think that why you've never seen this before is because now you only have that window, that very small window of the NIL of when people can transfer. And you better have your coach in place now because there is no getting somebody after the spring anymore. It's basically your recruits will come on campus, whether they're early enrollees or they're coming in that first or second session, and then you roll with what you got, and that's going to really change the landscape next year. And it's really going to show who's done well in recruiting and developed, which is a big part of it. Just because you have signed a bunch of people on paper that maybe were decent, have they really transitioned? And is that class still intact 2 or 3 years later? They could be playing ball for somebody else balling out because maybe your scheme didn't fit their skill sets. But my point is that it's the wild, wild west. And we knew it was going to be an unbelievable season. And I think that it's going to change a lot in these next 4 weeks. I think that just because you're in this initial ranking, you better hold it because you're going to be the hunted. And there's plenty of teams licking their chops. And the sad part is, one of the teams in that top 12 isn't even in your top 25 yet. And that's kind of defeats the whole purpose. I mean, I get it. South Florida, Memphis, they're kind of on the cusp there. But last year you were looking at a couple of different teams before you finally settled on who you had. So it just shows that there's more firepower at the top. But guys, I'll let you guys start this. I mean, what kind of stood out to you this past weekend, present favorite teams losing, except for you two pair? Florida State whipped ass and got that ACC monkey off their back against Wake Forest. But shit, I mean, I don't know what to say. Everybody else, man, we were losers over the weekend.
it looks like what I want to focus on is the amount of coaches, like the turnover. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this. And I think LSU and Florida are top tier jobs.
Very good.
Like those are top tier jobs. When you look at what Arkansas, more than likely they're going to hire Petrino. I mean, if it's the best of what they can do. But Auburn firing Hugh Freeze, it's kind of like what are your expectations at Auburn now? Just because you're very far removed from playoff experience. I think that was a decade ago.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like it was a long time ago.
Yeah, Cam Newton's been gone a long, long time.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Trey Mason. That crew is long gone.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that era, you're just looking at these coaches that are getting fired. You look at the problem that Dabo is having at Clemson, and the dude, it isn't like Clemson didn't win a national title not that long ago.
Hell, they were in the game in 2019 against that firepower LSU team.
LSU.
Like they were competing at a high level. You know what I'm saying? And they did win the ACC title last year, but like I say, it's a what have you done for me now, and that's what has really taken me. So out of the storylines, it is the coach firings, man. I think that's been the biggest topic of discussion for me.
I agree with that. Kerry,
I do too. And not just Hugh Freeze, but up in Maryland, they got drilled by Indiana 57-10, and the next day Mike Loxley is out of a job. He's a former SEC assistant at Alabama. He's out of a job. So Maryland is another opening. That's the first Big Ten opening. You've had openings from the SEC, the ACC, and now you got the Big Ten is involved.
Oh, well, we forgot Franklin. Franklin was technically Big Ten already. So but you're right. But maybe from a smaller school, because let me ask you this too, Per. Would the Penn State job up there in that first tier with LSU and Florida?
What did you say? Would that be a top tier job?
Would you put Penn State in the top tier with Florida and LSU? I agree with you. Florida and LSU, hands down, are top tier jobs. And Chatbox can say it well.
I would say tradition-wise, yes. Tradition-wise, it is. But what has Penn State won notably? Like, have they won Rose Bowls? Like it's been a while.
I mean, they got deep in the playoffs, but
they did win a couple of playoff games last year.
They won a couple playoff games last year, but
they consistently put guys in the NFL.
They do.
Yeah. So I feel like the top tier jobs are the jobs with tradition, but I feel like that tradition goes out the window with the way the NIL has
agreed.
Like people don't really care about, like, we see it on the level of what Colorado's going through. Like Colorado got spanked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I wonder if it's because of Deion's health issues too. Maybe he's not been able to fully commit. I don't know. I'm not trying to make excuses, but
I'm going to say that's probably part of it. I'm going to say that's probably part of it. But I think he also knew that this team was not going to be as good. When you had the other two teams that were pretty good and full of kids that went with him from the HBAC
those kids came from
over to here.
State.
And the Big 12, the Big 12 is stronger as a conference as a whole this year. Honestly, I mean, look where game day's at this week. I mean, that's going to be probably the biggest game.
Lubbock,
and
Texas.
It's almost an elimination game, because here's the truth of it. If you are like an SEC person, and let's say had Tennessee won that Oklahoma game, Tennessee would be in prime position to be in there. But we'd be where Oklahoma is. But you almost want BYU to beat Texas Tech to give them a second loss, because then if that's the case, then if Texas Tech and BYU play again 4 weeks later in Jerry's world for the Big 12 title, then, maybe you want them to finally beat BYU. And who does the committee take? Does the committee put in a one-loss BYU team or like a two-loss Tennessee team that had a much better, tougher schedule?
Or if Texas Tech were to win, you have a one-loss each game set up, and that way you eliminate somebody. Right. Somebody gets eliminated out of championship game.
Correct.
I looked at the rankings, and Tennessee's the highest three-loss team, which tells you that they're a kick and a quarter basically away from being 7-8-1, and we're having a whole nother discussion about what's going on. But Tennessee still got a lot to play for. If you win out 9-3, that's a heck of a season compared to where we were back in April.
The goal at this point for Tennessee is to keep little brother out of the playoffs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because no matter how, our season's not going the way the fans wanted it. But if you look at the rebuild that we had this year, based off our depth, injuries, everything, unproven quarterback who didn't come until the summer, who's leading our conference in every statistical
passing category
that matters. Tennessee is where you would expect them to be.
Yep.
But in a recruiting world, you do everything you can to prevent little brother Vanderbilt
Yep.
from making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you this, guys.
I see Vanderbilt's coach getting poached
That's
by
possible.
one of the massive openings at these bigger schools with bigger NILs.
Yep.
But if you can do that at Vanderbilt with limited resources, what can you do at a Florida and Auburn and LSU and Arkansas?
He's the real
And
deal, guys.
Possibly even Kentucky.
And let's think about that.
Vanderbilt is only in our conference to keep our GPA up.
Yep. But also too,
Well,
Franklin
baseball.
got coached. James Franklin.
And they have won a
James
national
Franklin.
title. Like,
James Franklin got
I mean,
coached the same way.
football are not relevant now. They it's funny because Vanderbilt's never went for an SEC title. They've never, you know what I mean? Like,
No.
They haven't ever played. They haven't went to Atlanta before.
No.
Like they don't know what that feeling is.
Yeah. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but I told you guys that the SEC refs were not going to let Vanderbilt leave Austin with a win. They were not. And the thing is I ain't a fan, but that boy had that onside recovery, and there was still 50 seconds left, and maybe Pavia does some magic there. But if Vanderbilt plays that second half the way they did the first half, they beat Texas, and we're not even talking about the Longhorns.
Actually, if they played the whole fourth quarter.
Yeah, the fourth quarter when they really because the third quarter was
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
but Texas, a lot of that stuff is empty too because Texas really dominated that game for most of that afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
Arch Manning needs to be in concussion protocol a little bit more because that's the best game he's played all year long. He looked fantastic. He looked like what was build for him to be this year. That was it right there. That maybe the light switch has finally helped click on his offensive line protect him, and he looked fantastic, man. He looked really good. Vanderbilt had no answers for none. They tried everything and had no answers.
Well, and I like what Shane, where you were going with that, Shane, is, at this point, the Vols do have, two rival games that they need to obviously win.
Yep.
And the thing is right now, maybe the playoff is out of, but they have an opportunity to maybe have a very competitive, fun game with Miami in the Gator Bowl for New Year's or what have you. That's what a projection was.
That's true, but I'm thinking they may be higher. If things pan out, we're talking Orlando, we're talking Tampa, or Jacksonville might be the third option.
Yeah. And here's the thing.
Because remember, 8-4 2 years ago got them in to the Orlando.
Yep.
So 9-3, I think, gets them into Orlando again, and they could take on the top Big Ten team that doesn't make the playoffs. Let's say maybe Oregon.
I'm glad you brought them up. I'm glad you brought them up, and I want to talk about them in a second. And so I've shown the scores underneath the college football committee. That's not the AP. That's not the coaches. This is the one that matters now, and so forth like that. The committee's rankings that were done last night at 7:00. And what I wanted to tell you guys real quick is, if anything, and we can talk about Tennessee here in a moment, but the thing that I would like Tennessee to do more than anything is get the swamp monkey off of your back. If there was ever a year to do this, it's this year, because you haven't won there since 2003 when Ron Zook was the damn coach.
2003, was that the James Banks game?
Yes,
James Banks game.
We won 24-10. Yep.
The only question in that deal is what's going to be left for Florida. Who hasn't hit the transfer portal by the time that game has been played?
And they still got Florida State the week after Tennessee.
Exactly.
They got two big rivalry games left. So
they have somebody else before us.
I want to say this. We thought on this show that if Florida loses their coach, they're not going to play. Them dudes are playing hard.
They are, man. They're talented. I mean, Billy did get some dudes there. It's just that way just didn't. It's the quarterback position. So
Florida's got Ole Miss before they play their last three games. Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Florida State.
Yep. Yeah.
That's murderer's row for Florida. That
The
could
whole
be
schedule
They go
has been
0-3.
absolutely rough. So
They go
That
0-3.
schedule was
they could
brutal.
end up 3-8. They could end up 3-8 easily. 3-9.
But
and they didn't even count on the USF loss. Go ahead, Two-Pair.
it's just look, when we talked about it, I was just sitting here thinking to myself, if Tennessee plays Florida without Napier, is Florida still gonna play hard? Because that Georgia game,
I
that
think
showed
that-
me a whole different. That was a different Florida team.
Yep.
Like that wasn't the
They should have
Yeah.
won that game.
that wasn't the same Florida team.
Guys, can I just say this? Am I wrong for saying this? And I'm not trying to be sour grapes when I say this. I don't think Georgia is that damn good. They have used every life of
They're
a
not.
cat that you could. And they're not even
They're
a
not.
cat school. They're a bulldog. But you think they'd have 9 lives at this point.
I agree with you, but I'll say this: they just been in enough of those tough ball games to win.
That's it.
Kind of like when you look at like when West was going through the back-to-backs.
Mhm.
Were they just that good, or did they just know how to win those type of ball games?
It was that extra. It was that extra that they had.
You see what I'm saying? Like the 14 team was just that good.
Yeah, with Cottrell, and then they rolled. So
Yeah, they were just
That should have been a back-to-back also.
that should have been.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yep, that
but
1 point.
exactly that should have been back-to-back as well. But that's what I'm saying. In looking at this Georgia team, they just know how to win these type of ball games, and they can take it from you if you leave it there. If you leave it right in front of their face, they will take it from you.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, they got a tough one Saturday in Starkville because that's not going to be easy.
It's one of my
that has
upset
come
specials.
Everybody
So-
that's come through there has not had it easy. They should actually be in the top 25.
Mississippi State.
Mississippi State, yes.
I think that if you go to the Arizona State game, I think if they beat UT,
If they beat UT, their season I think changes in a whole.
And
nother
they
way.
played hard
what
that game.
trips me out is UT's only got what an SEC win, like over who had a winning record? Was it just Mississippi State is the only one with a winning record?
At this point.
Yeah.
At this point, because Kentucky's trash and Arkansas's mailed it in. As much as a valiant effort they've given, I mean, they're just done.
They mailed it in.
Yeah, it is. Tennessee, the thing that hurts the most with the way they lost this Oklahoma game is how they lost the Oklahoma game.
Yeah.
The
I was feeling
turnovers.
good at halftime, but keep going. Yeah. So, I mean, shoot.
I don't want to speculate too much on Boo, but is Boo Carter? Is he locked in? Is he here? He's
gone.
Something's going on with
Boo's gone. Boo's gone. He's finishing out this season. He's gone.
Something's on with him. I don't know what's going on with him, but something's not right with him.
There's a reason he didn't play a single defensive snap. Saturday
He's
night.
not playing a single defensive snap.
Mm-hmm.
His mama is the equivalent of Nico's dad.
Mm-hmm.
Boo is talented as hell. I watched that kid in high school. I've watched him at Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
He's talented as he's talented as hell.
Yeah. Yep.
But his ego, his attitude, his effort isn't there.
Mm-hmm. And look at Deshaun Bishop. Look at Deshaun Bishop, who's talented as hell, but look at the work that guy's put in. Look at the work.
You go from a kid who's a 5-star athlete, which Boo was. Deshaun was a 3-star.
Mm-hmm.
Had a scholarship to Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina made a coaching change. Deshaun reopened his recruitment. We knew Tennessee wanted him. Tennessee brings him on as a preferred walk-on. He earned his scholarship.
Yes.
Yep.
Boo, 5-star out of Tennessee. A 5-star out of Tennessee is a 3-star out of Georgia or Florida. I will die on that hill.
You're
You're probably right.
Say that again for the people in the back, Shane.
A 5-star in Tennessee is a 3-star athlete out of Florida or Georgia.
Because
Probably Alabama, too.
those states breed
Athletes.
D1.
Hey, we need to make that into T-shirts. That might be the new Rebels with a 5-star in Tennessee is a 3-star in the others. That's deep.
Hashtag RWAC.
That's tough.
There's a few exceptions. Jalen Hurd was less than 300 yards away from breaking Tennessee's all-time rushing record.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's quit.
He quit, and I don't blame him for quitting because my cousin played for that coach. I don't blame him. He took a lot of abuse on his body. That's why his NFL career never panned out. Even when he changed positions, he had to retire due to injury.
Yeah.
But Boo probably should never came to Tennessee.
Here's a hot take.
Here is why I say that. There is affiliations supposedly attached to Boo. The way you get away from such affiliations that you're attached to is you get out in a way. I don't want to dive too deep because I know all the details. But Boo is letting the streets control his behavior.
Yep.
Compared to letting his athletic ability control his future.
Yep. Yep. And he's
if
got a great opportunity.
If I'm an NFL scout, I'm at my first question in his interview process. Why did you miss your entire spring and summer workouts?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We put him on the field. We know what he's capable of. But there's a reason why he saw no defensive snaps. We know he's done. He knows he's done. Mm-hmm. He's going to follow what Mama says. And he's going to follow what the streets say. What was his name? Jansen Jackson? Was the second coming of Eric Berry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said Jansen Jackson?
Yep.
Jansen Jackson. Yeah, I remember that name.
Second coming of Eric Berry.
Yep.
In the Tennessee secondary. Is Boo Carter not repeating the exact same thing that we went through with Jansen?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, and you want to know something, guys?
Tennessee kid he's the athlete you expect him to be, but the streets keep calling his name.
Yep.
Well, and you actually touched on something, Shane, that I was going to bring to the panel and the chat box, if they want to chime in on this, is, at what does it stop being on the players and it starts being on the coaches? And I'm going to go somewhere with this because this is the situation that I have with the Miami Hurricanes of what's going on right here. I'm not denying that Miami doesn't have talent, but they are making things way too hard down there. When you look at a program like Indiana, like what you said, Big Game Kerry, is that they are just rolling. And Indiana's just making it look easy. But why is it that certain coaches, and whether it's Mario or whomever, you brought these kids in, which means that you recruited them. You've had conversations with them. You've evaluated them, okay? And the truth of the matter is that in Miami's situation, you're putting the wrong personnel on the field for the play calls that, whether it's a boring offense or what have you, and you're not executing with those type of players. And it's like you don't have a trust. Well, then run a different play then, buddy. Run it for what your guy can do. If it's a speedster, use that end around. If it's the big bruising back, run him between the A and the B gap. I'm just saying that is where I have started to notice where you're not using your personnel correctly. But on the flip side, they're not panning out based on the evaluations your coordinators, your coaches, and the scouts/analysts. And that is where I wish the teams that I love would elevate their game to be in the mix of what's the difference between when you're outside this top 11. And I'm saying top 11 because one spot will always go to the group of 5. Yep. But I'm talking about what's inside the top 11. And to touch on Oregon real quick before I pass it back to you guys of what your thoughts are on what I just brought up, with committee is not impressed with their Penn State game. And as a matter of fact, they better be on their hands and knees that they win out and don't let USC beat them, because if USC beats them, there's no way the Big Ten is getting 3 teams in this year. It's just going to be Indiana, and it's going to be Ohio State, winner, loser, and it just depends on who's going to host or who's going to get a bye. Simple as that. So, yes.
Yeah, those teams.
Some people, what I've seen before, some people have coaching skills and some people have people skills, but not very many coaches have both. And that's
what's
part
up,
of the
Larry
problem.
Frank?
And that's part of the problem. Some people have coaching skills that don't go beyond the X's and O's. They don't know how to really use what they got. Some people have people skills and know how to motivate and get them to do what they want. Exceptional coaches over the years, like Nick Saban, like Bear Bryant, like those guys. The legends of coaching could do both. Can not only motivate you, but work to your strengths and your weaknesses, mostly your strengths, to get you to be the best. Some of these coaches in today's world don't have that. Lane Kiffin has both. He's not only a personable guy and can talk to people, but Lane knows what the heck. He's one of probably the best offensive play caller in the game right now. Lane is just dialing up anything and everything. And
as much as Tennessee fans would hate to hear me say this, Lane is the offensive guru.
Oh, yes.
And if a coaching position ever came open here again, he's the first phone call I make.
Yep. What's the worst he can do? Tell you no.
I mean, Bill Snyder went back to Kansas State a second time. Of course, he left on good terms the first
Lane
time.
Lane would probably say yes to Tennessee.
That might be the only place, but I think Lane is more ready for the NFL, because to me, nothing against LSU and Florida.
He wants some college girls.
Yeah, but nothing against those schools. It's a lateral move.
Mm-hmm.
That's
the
true.
NFL is a big move.
Yeah,
and he would love to right the wrong that he made when he was a coach of the Raiders. He wasn't great.
I think.
He could also be the first one to bring a title to Ole Miss, though.
That is true.
But I think if he brings a title to Ole Miss, it would have to be him being in that pantheon to be looked at differently as if you're one of the coaches that do that.
Oh yeah,
because it hasn't been done.
Exactly.
Are you guys shocked of how well they've done? I mean, look at Jackson Dart of how well he's doing. We knew Walter Nolan was going to be good. I mean, they lost some dudes off that team last year, and it looks like they haven't missed a beat, man. I mean, their only loss is Georgia, right? And they were right there with them. They just couldn't stop them or whatever. So
Lane's an offensive guru. I mean, that dude literally knows when a play is a touchdown play while the ball is in the air. He knows what he is doing. He is Nick Saban was a defensive coach. Lane Kiffin is the closest thing you've got offensively. Nick Saban. You put Lane Kiffin at a school that has the NIL capabilities, Alabama, a Tennessee, a Florida, an LSU, a Penn State has.
Well, think about it. He was at Alabama with Nick Saban. Who did he have as his quarterbacks? Mac Jones, Tua, Jalen Hurts. They won 2 national titles.
And all those stud receivers they were getting
and Devontae Smith and a Heisman Trophy. Devontae Smith and Jameer Gibbs, another running back that he recruited.
Yeah.
And a rumor that I heard this week with Lane Kiffin doesn't involve college. It involves the NFL. If Brian Daboll gets fired with the Giants, could you imagine Lane Kiffin going to New York and reuniting with Jackson Dart?
Oh, yeah. And they've got some pieces. I mean, if Cam Scatterbo can come back from that injury,
Malik Neighbors.
They've got some great talent.
Defense. You give Kiffin the biggest market in football.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That turns into Joe Namath.
Exactly.
The Jets with Jackson Dart with the Giants.
And remember, in New York, the only quarterbacks that have won a Super Bowl in New York, Joe Namath, Phil Simms, and Eli Manning. And Eli has 2.
Jeff Hostetler.
Jeff Hostetler. Yep.
Jeff Hostetler. Real quick to answer Larry's
That's
question.
a sore spot in my life is Jeff Hostetler, the 90 Super Bowl.
Because that was the closest one for your Bills to get it done. So,
Man.
yeah. NFL should hire Mario to sell popcorn and peanuts in the stands. Actually, he couldn't do that right. He'd put the butter on the peanuts, and he'd make the shells on the popcorn.
He know how to give one away, though.
That takes skill, man. That takes special skill.
Like, if you really watch that SMU game, the penalty that kills me is the personal foul,
the lack of discipline.
Yep.
And if you watch penalty,
that was inexcusable.
Inexcusable.
That was so like.
Yep. Yeah. And what about this? What about this, two pair? I mean, think about this. And if you watch Stallion Speaks, I called that man a flat-out liar. He tried to say that Miami never had talent before him, and here's the question. His ACC record is worse than Manny Diaz, and Manny Diaz right now at Duke is on the cusp of possibly, if they run the table, and they have a very good chance to do it, if they got Virginia at home, they've got North Carolina who stinks, Wake Forest who stinks. If they win those 3 games, Duke is going to be in the ACC championship game, and we're not even talking basketball. We're talking football. And so Manny's got a better record than Mario, and his players went to go to Rhett Lashley and SMU, and they beat the coach that said they weren't good enough to play at Miami. And then, like you brought up, the discipline, which he stressed was going to be something different with Miami, that's trash. And then his vaunted offensive line, building the trenches, penalty negated that the game doesn't even get to them getting the ball back. What about the offensive lineman that's down the field, and that negated the first down catch, and all Miami has to do is take a knee and run out the clock because it was out of timeouts at that point.
Out of timeouts.
So,
think crazy. Of the ACC championship game could be Duke versus Georgia Tech.
Exactly.
How scary is that? Or Louisville.
Yep, those are the 3 position right now.
Those are the 3 teams.
Louisville takes it.
Yep.
It's just horrible to say when you look at.
I'm not going to count against Duke, man. Mario Diaz. I'm going to tell you what. Now,
Manny,
like I said,
Manny
the name Manny Diaz, the name for the Penn State job. That guy, that name. Watch that name, because I believe Manny Diaz. He gets Duke to the ACC title game. Time for him to shoot.
And Duke is losing another coach, and you know the pulse around the Duke program. I have a friend that's a really big time into Duke football, all the sports. They love Manny Diaz. They're afraid that Penn State's going to poach him, you know, and so forth. And Penn State's defense,
I think he should
actually
stay
good
Duke,
when he was
though.
there. He should. It's easier. It's easier to win the ACC than it is to Ohio State. You know,
the pressure. I mean, think about it. Like,
the pressure.
Who are the only coaches that did well at Duke? Spurrier, Cutcliffe, and Diaz has got and Elko. And look what Elko's doing at A&M right now. So
and
Elko's building something crazy at A&M.
And I'm
this is true. Manny was a handful of plays from 10 wins in 2021. He had talent, and De'Aaron King got hurt.
He had talent.
So,
And Elko, what he's doing at A&M is just phenomenal. He's gotten something started, and they're not even being talked about. And they're the number 3 team in the country, and it's like no one's talking about them. That's the team I would be scared of. I would be scared of them because they can play defense, and Mario and that Reed kid at quarterback. My God, he is a stud.
He is.
He can do. He can run it. He can throw it. He can do just about anything. And I love your storyline there about Dabo finding 10,000 for criticism.
Oh my God! I mean, but and you know the ACC refs. I mean, they like. And listen, I'm not going to take anything away from SMU. They won that game. Miami was inexcusable to have 96 penalties, especially those 2 at the end, like you said, 2 pair offense on defense. But you know, they also negated a touchdown because they did a pick play with the wide receiver, and Miami always gets called for that. They've been called for that numerous times the last 3 years, and I'm thinking to myself, why have you not had a discussion with the ACC crew of what would they allow and what's not, you know, and so forth? Because I swear I don't see other teams get called for it as much, but somebody told me that there is, but it's like Miami, and it negates a touchdown. I don't know. It's crazy. So,
Think about that with Duke. The first time since 1980 they won at Clemson. 45 years. That is, you know how many times the basketball team And the baseball team have won at Clemson since 1980, and they haven't won since 80.
I know.
That Duke
Clemson's a dumpster fire. I think Clemson's probably one of the worst programs.
It would not
right
surprise me a bit if there's a clean break at the end of the season. It would not surprise me if they bought Dabo out. They pay him off to say, hey, it's time for a change. It's time to rebuild. Since you don't believe in the transfer portal, you don't believe in the NIL, we'll get somebody in here that will believe in both of them, because that's what's happened. His lack of stubbornness towards the NIL and the transfer portal have put him in this situation where Georgia Tech's gotten better, Duke's gotten better, Louisville's gotten better, all on your watch.
Well, we all know Dabo. We all know Dabo's not going to leave unless the Bama job is open.
Nah, he ain't going to Bama. They will not take him.
Nah, he
Bama.
wouldn't get the Bama.
He ain't taking Bama.
He wants that Bama job.
He ain't gonna get it. Lane Kiffin would actually have a better shot at the Alabama job than Dabo.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Oh, without a doubt. No. Let me ask you this, guys.
Have a better shot at it.
Chat box. Rocky asks or said he makes a prediction BYU will go down this weekend. We're going to pick that game later. Obviously, it's one of the big games this week, and so
game day is there.
Game day is there. I know, it's crazy. Texas Tech, man, that coach. Hey. Oh my gosh! So
they got a prime spot. They're at noon. That's an SEC time spot, and this is the first weekend all year that the SEC does not have a game at noon. They've got the noon spot. Yep.
And let me just tell you this. I'm going to go through the top 25 real quick. Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, BYU, Texas Tech, which those two play this weekend, Oregon, who I've already talked about. There's Notre Dame. I mean, all Notre Dame has is Pitt this weekend. That could be a trap game. But if Notre Dame gets through Pitt, they probably are going to go 10-2 at this point. Texas and Oklahoma are there. Utah's still kind of hanging around. And then you've got all these ACC teams, Virginia, Louisville, Vanderbilt is obviously SEC, Georgia Tech, Miami. That's right there is the ACC. You got USC still hanging around. Iowa is still there. Michigan. Yep. Missouri, even though they don't have a quarterback. And then there's Pittsburgh. That's another ACC team. And then Tennessee, obviously number 25. And then unranked, but with that number 12 spot, technically, is Memphis right now. So with USF kind of on the cusp if Memphis slips up. So, yeah. But I don't know, guys. What are your thoughts? Do you think BYU goes down this weekend? And Mario would never, absolutely not, because he is a punk. So he's an ego. He's an egomaniac, and he has no trust in his players nor his staff. I mean, he's just a control freak. So I don't know what's happening to him.
That's one of them games that I saw was like,
we all picked SMU, by the way. We all did.
Did we all pick SMU?
Yeah, we all did.
You didn't get to because you had that commitment. You had to leave early.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you probably would have picked them. I don't know. Everybody else picked SMU. I knew it. I knew that was going to happen. Larry Frank knew that was going to happen. We called it on Stallion Speaks. I said, this is so Miami to lose a noon game on the road to an opponent that had half of its roster and better players, guys, on the damn either probable or out. I mean, that's just inexcusable.
And the coach just got the extension.
Correct.
Yep, and he just got extended.
Man,
hey, you called this earlier, James.
Timing.
Yep. You called it earlier, James. I mean, you thought Miami would lose at least 2 or 3 games after
and they still got 2 more on the schedule. Listen, they still got 2 more. They're going to lose to NC State next week. DJ Bailey was phenomenal against Georgia Tech last week, if you missed it. And he is from Miami.
NC State type of thing.
Yes, and NC State has owned Miami in football. Owned in football.
And don't lose to Syracuse Saturday.
Oh, I'll tell you one thing.
Don't lose to Syracuse Saturday.
Can I give you a little hint? I'll give you a little hint. I can't believe that the odds makers made Miami a 27.5-point favorite in that game. Take the points, baby. Take the points. And it's a 3:30 game. It's prime. And I'd give the edge in coaching to anybody against Mario at this point. With what's left of their schedule.
I can see Larry leading a group with torches down in Miami. They lose to Syracuse. Kind of bird, baby, bird. Bird Mario.
He's actually already ordered an Uber to move the U-Haul already with 4 sale signs through the windows or whatever like that. Go home. Yep. You stink. So
time to go.
Points and
Points
under,
and under,
easy money.
easy
Yep,
money.
easy money there. So, yep, for sure.
Oh my gosh!
But I'll go to the big games since we've seen what's in the top 25. These are the big ones. I mean, there's not that many, but this is also one of those weekends where you could see another top 25 team losing to an inferior opponent.
Mhm.
And we've already highlighted two of the games. And I didn't even actually put it up there. I meant to put it up there, but I have it on our pick segment. The Mississippi State Georgia game at noon on ESPN. So that I need to put that one up there actually real quick. So let me do that because that is prime for maybe an upset there. So, yeah.
Tell you one game that does intrigue me that we'll pick later. Oregon's first trip to Iowa City. That's a tough place to play. Very tough place to play in Iowa City.
Yep.
Kirk Ferentz and those guys. That's going to be. We talk about styles make fights. You got high fly at Oregon, grounded pound Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be very interesting to see which style comes out on top of that. Because, like I said, Iowa City's a tough place to play. Yep. Very tough place to play. And if
Moore's still banged up or what have you, this is
Mm-hmm.
prime for an upset. I think
A
the
major
3:30
upset.
window, guys, is something to keep an eye on. Here's another game that maybe I should have put up here. I've got a question for you guys. Does Auburn come out with the same intensity Florida did and knocks off Vanderbilt and Nashville?
Possibly.
At 4:00 for the SEC
They got nothing
game.
to lose. They got nothing to lose.
I agree with you too, Pear, but I got to throw it out there because this 3:30
I like
window
that you throw
is
it
gonna
out
be,
there because it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible
You know,
because
it's
Florida,
possible.
Florida should have beaten Georgia.
Yeah, they should.
That was a great effort, and that was a catch.
I can't believe they didn't.
They took that catch away from the Florida receiver, and I got to admit, I'm not the biggest Florida fan, but that was a catch.
Yep.
And once again, the referees have found a way to help Georgia walk out with a victory. If that was a catch, that changes everything, and maybe Florida pulls off one of the biggest upsets in the history of that rivalry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In the last time they play in Jacksonville for 2 years.
Well, and Shane, I mean, let's talk about this. The SEC refs have been absolutely atrocious all year long. And here's the other thing. So you had that game at 3:30 that could have gone to Florida, you know, if they didn't intervene. And then let's talk about the fact the Vanderbilt player technically recovered the onside kick. And here's the thing. With the kicker for Vanderbilt is that stud out of Catholic High School, and he can boot it, man. He's a semifinalist for the Groza Award this year, and if they go to overtime, what is Texas thinking at that point? You never know. I mean, but SEC refs kept Texas and Georgia alive when those could have been upsets, and then Kerry, Alabama should have lost to South Carolina last week if it wasn't for the magic of Bernard in that last 3 minutes.
And some questionable coaching decision by Shane Beavers to let them score. I would have never had let them score a touchdown. If you're going to beat me, I'm going to make you kick it to beat me, because at that point it would have been a 47-yard field goal on grass. Those are hard to make.
Yeah.
And I would have rather, if you beat me on a field goal, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But if you let them score a touchdown thinking you're going to get the ball back, I would rather have gone to overtime. If they had went to overtime with Alabama, who knows what would have happened.
Yeah, I would say a 47-yard kick is difficult for everybody else but Oklahoma. I watched
that kicker is good.
3 50-yard field goals, and he had room to go.
Yeah.
Hey, Shane, 2 of them he barely made it over. 2 of them he barely made it by
the 55 and the 56 and the 51 was clear for
the 51 was easy. The 55 and the 56 he barely made it over, but he had enough.
Yeah, but you don't expect that. And he hit 3 from 50 plus.
Yep.
That dude just nailed his freaking NFL contract.
He did.
Oh yeah,
he did. Especially when you got some guys making 68-yarders now.
Go ahead and declare you sign as a free agent after the draft because you just secured yourself a freaking job for the next 14 years.
Yep.
And that guy for Jacksonville that made the 68-yarder on Sunday, that would have been good from 75. He hit the back of the net.
Yeah.
high
He's a
on the
beast.
back of the net. That's a they're saying it's too easy for kickers now to make these field goals. They're talking about they should change the rule. No, they shouldn't. Let them kick it as long as they can. Someone's going to make an 80-yard field goal before my time on this earth is over.
Well, can I throw this out there, guys? We've got some kickers that can't even make a damn extra point that are costing me fantasy damn football games, but keep going. So,
Yep, that is true. That is so true.
God. They made that now fun or whatever. So, and that was a guaranteed 1 point.
Why can't Tennessee find a kicker like that? Why can't we get one? I just want one.
Who would you say is the last great Tennessee kicker? Is it Will Hoyt?
Jason Wilhoit?
Boy, you're going back 20 years. Let's see.
I mean,
Alex
he did
Walls?
Walls was
Give me
pretty
Jeff
good.
Hall.
Alex Walls.
Oh, Jeff Hall was amazing. Jeff Hall There's no doubt about Jeff Hall. So,
Alex Walls was pretty good.
Oh, Don Bexforth.
Bexport, yeah, that's back early, late 80s, early 90s, yep.
Yeah. I mean, but can you think of anybody during the Dooley regime or the Butch Jones or even Pruitt that was a great kicker that you were like, oh, this guy's got the 47-yarder for us. We're good.
Pilardi was
Mike Pilardi.
Yeah.
Pilardi.
Oh, did you hear about Jeremy Pruitt being back in coaching?
I heard that they were
cleared him to be an offensive analyst at Jacksonville State. So he's back in college.
He's done coaching gym class at high school football?
Yeah, he's not doing high school football no more. He's back as an offensive analyst at Jacksonville State in Alabama.
Larry, I'm all for that as long as Mario's got his legs spread facing the other way so they can get both nuts perfectly with the foot and the heel. So, yeah.
Well, how do y'all really feel about Mario? Just go ahead and just shoot. How y'all really feel?
I'm so disappointed because I was the one that wanted him there the most. In fact, I had to convince Larry 5 years ago of why he was the better hire than Lane. And I am so stupid for that. I was the idiot of the week last week on my own show, but keep going. So
I'd have chose
Lane. When Miami chose to go in another direction, they fired Manny Diaz.
Yes, at the last second. And he, at that point, as Larry mentioned, was 10 points away from a 10-win season. He was doing it with a redshirt freshman quarterback in Tyler Van Dyke because poor De'Aaron King had gotten hurt in the Alabama game. And De'Aaron King, ironically, is the quarterback's coach for Rhett Lashley on SMU. So by a bunch of people that have left Miami, and we're doing okay, honestly, looking back. I mean, it really wasn't as bad as we thought it was. So,
I remember Tyler Van Dyke. He beat Texas
and he's the backup quarterback. He's actually at SMU. He's the backup quarterback. He took the coin toss and was smoking a stogie in celebration because that's another one that Mario said wasn't good enough to play quarterback at the University of Miami. I don't know.
Didn't he have a game he beat Texas A&M? He was the quarterback for
Yes,
A&M.
yes, he was Miami's quarterback.
That game.
Yeah, he was Miami's quarterback.
He had a fantastic game that night.
Yeah,
it was I remember it was a rain-soaked game, and he played was just outstanding. Yeah.
Yep.
I knew that name was familiar.
For that one, it was basically like Manny got let go, and Mario was already on the plane, and letting Oregon know that he would not be coaching their bowl game, and was coming to Miami and so forth. It was like right after
you should have known.
It was the SEC championship weekend. So yes, yeah, but
he underachieved at Oregon. So I knew. So this doesn't surprise me. He really underachieved at Oregon. He had great teams at Oregon, and he underachieved.
Oh yeah,
big time.
Yeah, and he even had a better quarterback there with Herbert that now plays for the Chargers.
Yep,
so he
Justin Herbert. He had Justin Herbert, top 5 pick, and he underachieved with that group.
Yeah, that's and he's had some great defensive players like Kayvon Thibodeau. I mean, he's had some dudes. And again, I don't undervalue his ability to recruit. But what I have a problem with is you're not coaching, you're not developing, you don't have trust in your players, and you're making $9.5 million a year for what? For what now?
That's what Heupel's making, $9.5 million a year, and Heupel's gotten better results.
Yep.
It came in a worse situation than Mario did.
Mm-hmm. Larry and me have guys that we go up against that call us fake fans. These guys are you. Listen to this. Listen how stupid this was.
You are a fake fan.
Yes.
You're a fake fan.
Can you imagine?
No,
You've known me for 26 years. You've known me for 26 years.
A realistic fan is a fake fan.
Yes. Yeah.
That's wrong.
And Larry's been a fan since the 80s.
I think people have a problem with the people that are realistic about their teams.
They are they're delusional.
Like they're not fake fans. They're just they're realists. They're like, yeah, I'm a fan of my team.
Yep.
But
I'm a realistic fan.
You know when your team isn't your team.
They're ass. Hey, listen. Hey, so you want to hear this? So listen to these idiots. So these guys are on TikTok. They claim that they're like big time Miami fans. They're blaming Dawson, the offensive coordinator. They don't want to get rid of Mario because they don't want to start over. And I'm like, what are you doing right now? I mean, who cares starting over? And then to top it off, they had a pizza party with the delivery guy, and they were having a watch party, guys, of the playoff rankings. I could have saved you all sorts of time and told you Miami was going to be ranked 18th. That would have only been worthwhile if you were still undefeated and hoping maybe you were number 1 or number 2 with Ohio State. You're not even in the conversation. And if Syracuse does take care of them on Saturday, you won't have to worry about watching next Tuesday at all. So you're just hoping to get bowl eligible at this point.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, I mean, come on, man. I mean, this is what we've been dealing with. I mean, come on. So,
fake. Yeah, you're not.
And they call us fake fans that we're incognito. I mean, Larry and me have been fans since the 80s, man. I was in that cradle at the Orange Bowl pretty much. Come on. So,
fake fans.
These guys were, you know,
crazy.
come on. Yeah,
I got left down the Tennessee Auburn game back in the 80s.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Come on, man. You were born. I mean, this is your city. You're one of the founding families. Come on now. So, yeah.
But no shit, my mom left me at a daycare downtown during the Tennessee Auburn game.
In 85?
Yes.
Or 89? Bo Jackson game. That's the game that stopped Bo Jackson.
My mom legit left me at a daycare downtown.
Oh, God.
85.
Yep.
Well, we were killing Auburn that day.
And they had to call they somehow got my grandfather's number. They called him at 2:00 in the morning. Like, hey, we have a Shane here. Where's his mama? So I bleed Tennessee. My family sacrificed me to Tennessee.
Yep.
Absolutely do. Hey, listen to this. So the guy that called Larry a fake fan, he looks like Macaulay Culkin. He's like a poor man's Macaulay Culkin looking.
Oh, God.
Oh, you can see this goofball. And then on top of that, the dweeb actually, no offense, two-pair, he actually called Larry an FSU fan incognito, pretending to be a Miami fan, trolling their TikTok show.
Oh,
and then he's got an emotional support parrot on top of it. This guy. I mean,
my God.
This is what I'm dealing with. We have another fan who's really a Penn State fan that claims he's all Miami. He's got Miami gear. He had a theory and went on a rant that the reason why Miami lost that game is because we tore down the Orange Bowl and Hard Rock Stadium. Newsflash, asshole. We played that game in Dallas, not in Miami. And he spent, I mean, this is what we deal with on a daily basis of people that are, Larry calls them the tailgate mafia. They just go there to get drunk. Oh, yeah, the U, and they throw it up, and they couldn't tell you shit about football like us. Honestly, that's a fact. So, yeah. That's what we deal with.
That's
go ahead. So, yeah.
But that's the nature.
Yeah,
that's the nature of sports, and that's the difference between what we do and the fair weather. Like this is we weekly giving you this stuff. Like we going through all these matchups. We looking at the rankings. We looking at college football tells a great story. The NFL tells a great story. But the drama that comes with it makes it that much more worth watching.
Tell me about it.
Oh, yeah. And Larry actually said, the idiot even said that Hard Rock is cursed because it was built on Indian territory down there. So, Indian territory.
Played on the road.
All right, welcome to the South where everything's an Indian burial ground.
I mean, can you imagine? I mean, this guy, so, and he's a Penn State fan that's a Miami fan in disguise. But go ahead, Larry.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. He's more.
That's just unbelievable.
He's a damn Yankee.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible. So, but I like how you said that too, Pear. They tell a story, and we're definitely entertained. And you know what? I had actually gone back to our original show when we did the college football preview, and I'll tell you this, man. like all these teams that were, I mean, Penn State is dreadful. They are done. We knew that.
Yeah.
We called that from the beginning.
We did. And look
We
at
did.
Clemson, look at LSU.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'll tell you this though, Larry and me were talking about the only game that's really interesting to me at night. Sorry if I offend anybody, but LSU at Alabama. I mean, what type of LSU team's going to come out on Saturday? Or are they just going to just bend over and take it? What are we talking here?
It's
What
over.
kind of Alabama team's going to come out after a bye?
It's over.
That's what I'm dying to see.
Give me LSU.
Yeah.
LSU.
No.
What's the spread? Shane, what's the spread in that game? Because here's the thing: if there's another coach that sucks against the when you're a double-digit spread like Mario, Kalen DeBoer is actually
10.5.
second on that list. So
Alabama's
that
a
would be
10.5
hilarious.
favorite.
Kalen would tie Mario if that happened. So yeah,
Alabama's a
Alabama-
10.5. Alabama's a 10.5
buries
point favorite.
LSU.
yeah, I think they bury him too.
I think they
think so,
bury
too.
LSU.
I think if the game was in LSU, it'd be a little bit different, but in Alabama, no way.
The way
The reason I say give me
LSU looked against Texas A&M, no, I ain't got
Nah.
I ain't got no faith in LSU.
I don't either.
Yeah, Shane, what were you going to say though?
the reason I say give me LSU over Bama is LSU's got nothing else to play for, but it reminds me of the Butch Jones era when players weren't allowed to come back. Now the LSU players were allowed to back to watch practice, be associated with the program. Brian Kelly's a piece of shit human being, a piece of shit fucking coach.
Yeah.
The blueprint is there to beat Bama. We've seen it. That game's always been a good game.
Yeah.
Give me LSU.
That would be an LSU thing to do.
Not at Alabama.
That would
not
be
at
so
the-
LSU, though. I know we've got some
Yeah.
friends that we graduated with that are big time LSU fans, and to each his own. And obviously,
It would
Rocky
be
and
LSU
Larry
though
are
if they
Cajuns,
did
but-
win. But my thing is, what's difficult about looking at this game is Alabama's got so much to play for. LSU,
Yep.
what are you playing for to disrupt their season? And I mean,
Exactly.
it's a lost season for LSU,
Yep.
Mhm.
and
Another trip to the Texas
it'd be
Bowl for
hard
them.
pressed for them to win in that type of environment. Ty Simpson is like a front runner for the Heisman right now.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
LSU looks like another trip to the Texas Bowl down there in Houston.
I mean, you know what's crazy though? Like, I mean, that LSU Clemson game. I mean, it was the determination of who actually got bowl eligible instead of had nothing to do with national implications or playoffs or
Hell,
anything like that.
Clemson's
It's
fighting to be
unbelievable.
bowl eligible now at 3-5. They're fighting it. One more loss and they may not go to a bowl.
The only reason they might have an opportunity is because they're South Carolina. And Shane, no pun intended, that might be another job opening with Beamer. I mean, does South
Yep.
Carolina part ways with that at this point?
Yeah.
I've seen TikToks where they're talking about getting rid of Beamer.
Yeah.
Well, he ain't going to Virginia Tech. If
But
they
the
take
thing is, what
I
better?
don't know who else should get there because that's not a appealing job.
No, and he would have to follow the
Here-
legend of
here-
his father.
It's like I said earlier.
And I wouldn't want that.
Kentucky holds on to Stoops for another season because you're competing with too many predominant teams in college football.
Mhm.
Do you hold on to him for next year and everything goes downhill just to get a better coach?
Yeah.
And I don't see Shane Beamer going to Virginia Tech either because he'd have to follow in his dad's footsteps. That's hard. It's hard enough to follow a legend. When the legend was your father, that's even double tough because everything you do will be compared to him.
Yeah.
But
He'll be second guess, third guess, fourth guess. You wouldn't believe.
But is the South Carolina
it's easier to win the ACC than it is the SEC.
Would the South Carolina job be an attractive job?
No,
No.
because
I mean,
you got Tennessee. You got Tennessee out recruiting you. You got Georgia out recruiting you. You now are about to have maybe North Carolina out recruit you.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
got people all in Virginia. you got 4 quarters all the way around of other teams that have gotten better that could out recruit you easily. Nah, South Carolina's not an attractive job.
You know, Tuper, you were onto something at the beginning of the show when you said that there's probably some coaches that are probably not going to be fired. And I think all of you have actually said it in your own way, because who are those guys going to get if these tier 1 jobs are the ones that are going to get the best of the best? And then here's a question that I have for you guys, and you all can go in order of how you want to answer it, chat box as well. I brought this up on Stallion Speaks the other day. Do you go with a proven name that you're going to spend a lot of money that maybe the game has passed them by, like an Ed Orgeron or someone like that? Or do you take a young and up-and-coming guy from one of these smaller conferences, hoping their shit can transition to the bloodbaths of these conferences like the SEC and Big Ten and etc.? What do you guys think?
Alex Golich should be a coach in one of the big conferences.
He's a bad dude, but yes, yeah, he's a bad dude. I like him.
That would be the go-to coach I pick. If you can pull a Lane Kiffin out of Ole Miss, you get Golich.
Yep.
That offense is proven to work.
Larry says you're about to see a plethora of a plethora. Yes, that's still one of the best things I got clowned on of younger and up and coming plus FCS guys. Okay,
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that too, because some of these jobs are very attractive, but it also depends on what school is what are they looking for. Yeah. Because some of these people are looking different. Like you said, when Freeze got fired, that Kentucky-Auburn game, if it goes the other way, maybe we're talking about Stoops being fired. Somebody was getting fired out of that game one way or the other, and it turned out to be Hugh Freeze.
But hey, you know what? Franklin should go to Virginia Tech.
I think Hugh Freeze should have more time.
Yeah,
I think Hugh Freeze should have gotten more. I agree, he should have gotten more time.
I think that was an emotional decision by a program, because realistically, if they didn't get screwed in that Georgia and Oklahoma game, would they still have gotten rid of him? I mean, honestly, real quick about Franklin to Virginia Tech, I think he should go there. You want to know why? Because he'll improve the big game record if you consider the VT Miami rivalry a big game, and that'll be another coach that will push Mario shit in. Keep going. So,
and the ACC is easier to win.
Yep. North Dakota State coach. God, they do is win up there, man. They're a badass program in that.
The last one was Kleinman. He's at Kansas State.
And they I know they had a little rough year, but it looks like they've gotten it together. And next year they'll probably be ready to go. They lost some people from last year's team.
He's a talented coach. He's a very talented coach.
Yeah, they lost some people. So
yeah, you're gonna be seeing some young guys coming. Yeah, Hugh Freeze will probably be an OC somewhere. I agree with him being an OC somewhere.
Give me Hugh Freeze here. Give me Sam Pittman here.
I'll take Sam Pittman as an offensive line coach.
I'll take Pittman.
Give me Pittman here as a position coach. Give me Hugh Freeze as the OC.
Absolutely.
Yes,
I don't see that happening. I don't see Heupel giving up play calling or anything else like that. That's
he's gonna have to. Heupel's gonna have to.
He's gonna have to, but that's gonna be a hard sell. It's gonna take somebody really strong to take that to get help.
Well, let me ask you guys this: is it Heupel's play calling, or do you think it's because of certain players that are just not executing? Or again, that goes back to that evaluation question. You brought these guys in here.
Of both.
It's a combo. It's a combo of both.
Okay.
The blueprint is there. Heupel's biggest issue is he hires his buddies, and his buddies can't produce.
You can't hire your friends.
It's expected to.
That's why Al Golden failed at Miami.
He is borderline Butch Jones. He's a better coach than Butch, hands down. But Butch wanted to think he was the smartest man in the room, and that's what killed Butch. Heupel has to realize that he can. Hey, here's my philosophy. I need you to run this. And Tim Banks is not doing it defensively. He had the players last year, but
he doesn't have them this year.
This year, it's not there.
He needs to go. If anybody needs to go, it's him. And look at what Larry said. Copy the Ohio State model with Chip Kelly. Yeah. And then look what they did. They were tired of their defense having to outscore teams. They hire Matt Patricia, and their defense is absolutely suffocating. Yeah. And their offense is now caught up to their defense. And Julian Sayin is now in the damn conversation for a Heisman Trophy.
So do you go to the
if Tennessee has a better defensive coordinator, I don't care about the injuries this year.
I think we're undefeated.
Tennessee is undefeated.
Hold on, like what?
I'm not gonna say that, because if you lose 2 All-American corners the way they lost 2 All-American corners, I'm not gonna say that they're undefeated, because I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll throw this out there. They beat Oklahoma and they beat Georgia.
Yeah, we lose one between Alabama and Georgia. We lose one.
We lose to Alabama because
the offenses put
made mistakes in
predicaments that they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
The
offense made mistakes in the Alabama game. Defense game.
And then the kicker that sucked.
Let's look at the turnover.
You do open tryouts for a kicker. You do open tryouts.
Not putting points on the board.
Yep, exactly. Turnover. The Alabama game, we lost 13 points off of 3 turnovers. That was the difference in the game.
It's all 3 phases of the football game.
Yep.
They're not playing complimentary football.
Exactly.
I haven't seen him on tonight. But Wise Man, Ian Walker, who's a fan of the show, who I work with, he has brought up multiple times in our work chat that when we talk about the Vol games and so forth like that, the game management and the usage of timeouts and not using them correctly are atrocious by Hypo. And he has brought that up. I think
Hypo needs somebody like that. He needs, if he's going to be a CEO and look over things, he needs a game manager. Mm-hmm. He could get an offensive coordinator, but have him be a game manager. Let somebody know when to call a timeout, what to do here, what to do there. That's what he's always needed. He needs somebody. Alex Golish was in a way that for Josh Heupel.
Yeah.
Alex came with him. Alex had been with him through Oklahoma, Central Florida, Knoxville, and he hasn't had that since he's left. I don't know if he doesn't trust Housey enough to do that. I don't know, but he needs somebody that he's comfortable with to let him be the game manager and let Hypo handle everything else. I think it's just a matter of schematics. Get somebody in there that Hypo trusts.
Yep.
And Larry, it doesn't have to be a friend of his. Just have somebody in there that he trusts.
Larry brings up Brian Hartline, who is the wide receiver. Now he was demoted for Chip Kelly, now promoted as the offensive coordinator. The guy can recruit. I could tell you who would maybe take a Brian Hartline since the Maryland job opened up, Kerry, like you said, or I'd even throw Oklahoma State out there because they would like to maybe get back to that fun and gun offense that they had for a while there, with Grundy and all that.
And so think about the wide receivers that you get wider. He knows how to recruit wide receivers.
Yeah. Is Heupel the Sheen version of Mario? I don't think so. No. Heupel can at least play. I mean, the one thing is Heupel at least can do things with quarterbacks, and he's a good. I've always liked it. He's a teacher.
Aguilar has put up the numbers, but it's like
Aguilar leads
turnovers. It's the time of the turnovers.
Yep. But you knew that coming in. We knew that coming in, though.
Heupel's more like Al Golden, Larry, because he just hires his friends, and you need to get rid of your friends. You need to upgrade the positions and so forth.
I wouldn't put Heupel and Al Golden in the same sentence, man. Al Golden, he's with the Bengals this year, the defensive coordinator, and look how that's working out.
Yeah, well, no, but I mean, that's working out. I guess I'm going more towards like the Al Golden that did well at Temple, and that's why he got hired at Miami. Because Al Golden could actually
failed at Miami.
He just failed at Miami because he couldn't fire his friends. That's the problem there. I mean, I think his record was probably better than Mario in the ACC. I'd have to look it up, but it's just pathetic. So,
but Golden wasn't a fit for he was not a fit for Miami. Nothing against him. He just did not fit the Miami culture.
And he had that Notre Dame defense playing great last year. He really did.
He's a good coordinator, but now he's with the Bengals, and look how that messed up they are. I mean, you got a 40-year-old quarterback that's dealing. First time ever in NFL history, a team has scored 131 points in 4 games, and they're 1-3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You should be 4-0 if you score 131 points in a 4 game.
Okay, so my next question is, last year defensively, Tennessee was in the top of the country.
Yeah.
Our running game is what got us to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
What is the difference between this year's Tennessee defense and last year's Tennessee defense under Tim Banks?
They're just
Number one.
studs, a couple draft picks, and
Number
then the
one,
injuries.
yeah. Number one, six of those defenders got drafted in the pros in the first 4 rounds.
Is James Pierce Jr. better than Arian Carter?
Yes.
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 You don't be the 15th pick of the first round and not be better than somebody. Yeah.
And a starter on an NFL team.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like
have-
he
and who's up for
he walked in off UT campus and
Yep.
became a starter in the NFL. Yeah.
Exactly.
Larry's got a question for you
And
guys.
it's
If
up for them.
Vanderbilt beats UT, is he done? Talking
No.
about
Yes.
Heupel.
Yes.
I don't think he is. No. Who are you gonna
Boomer
get?
lost to Vanderbilt.
We don't get it. We don't get it.
Who do you get?
I'm speaking as if I'm. This isn't me as a fan. This is me as somebody who controls, is a booster and pays the money.
He's not gonna lose Vanderbilt.
He's not gonna lose. One, he's not gonna lose the Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Two,
Yeah.
who do you get? Who do you
That's,
get?
that's a big if.
I personally don't want him gone, but if it happened,
Mhm.
powers that be pull him. That's why I say yes, he's gone.
I don't so.
Do you think Vanderbilt's coach leaves Vanderbilt? I mean, he's an alum there and everything, even with the money.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Mm.
Unless
Now,
the,
if you got a chance at something special,
If I'm LSU, I pull everything I got to get Vanderbilt's coach.
but the thing is, you can pull something special, or you can always be Rich Rodriguez.
exactly.
Yeah. And you know what? That's a team that is so heckle and like they've beaten Pitt, and then they won last week, and then they lose to the teams that they should beat. Like, what the hell is going on there,
right.
West Virginia? They're weird.
But
I mean,
that's the team that he inherited, and that's what's gonna happen. Though,
yeah.
I feel like if he can recruit well,
Mm-hmm.
like get the players that he was accustomed to getting when the first stint, they could be one of those attractive places again. But it's due to that play style, because when that play style and that method that he introduced, it was innovative at the time, but now it's a copycat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Football that you seeing it.
Yeah, Larry's got a point there. A fourth loss to your in-state rival, especially if they do better than you, talking about the overall seed. I mean, yeah, because if Vanderbilt wins out, there's a good chance they get in the playoff, right? I mean, or no?
Yeah.
What is
There
it?
is a good chance, but
Because who do they have left? They've got Auburn this week. They've got Kentucky. They've got a bye week, and then they've got us. Is that what's left on their schedule?
I'll look and make sure. But
So, because they've lost 2 games, Alabama and Texas, and the Alabama game was
you lose the baby brother the way we've lost this season.
third home game loss too. Actually, I'm now thinking.
Heupel is gone.
I don't see it because you got to find who do you get in this.
It's the boosters. It's the boosters that do it.
Well, then they'd be the dumbest fools in the world, because who do you get? You better have somebody in line after what he pulled you out of. He dealt with the NCAA sanctions. He dealt with Pruitt's mess, Jones' mess, and all that. Who do you get? They better have somebody good.
But Tennessee is dumb. Tennessee is dumb enough to do this shit.
Yep, but they better have somebody lined up. And I'm not talking about a former guy that has failed somewhere else. No. They better have somebody lined up.
So let me get this straight.
The only former guy you pull is down in Ole Miss.
Okay, so wait a minute.
And he won't come.
So let me ask you this.
I don't know. I think he would take his stuff back if it was offered.
All right, so two pair. I got one for you right now. Okay, so here's the deal.
I don't see it happening.
What we could, if chaos absolutely happens, and by chaos, Sark leaves Texas, that makes that profile job open. Tennessee implodes, and then they say bye to Heupel. South Carolina says goodbye to Shane Beamer. Are you telling me that Kalen DuBois, who Alabama fans personally wanted to lynch after that Florida State loss, is going to be the coach that has a job still come this time next year is what we're really throwing on the table here with 4 weeks left in this regular season. I mean, that's crazy.
Think about it. He beats Georgia.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
He hasn't lost to Georgia.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
really his only saving grace.
Yeah. And if he beats Auburn, I mean, he's got to win that game.
Yeah, you got to beat Auburn too.
You got to beat Auburn.
Yeah.
But you're 2-2, but he's one.
You lose the first game of the season
to Florida State.
But you show that you've gotten better every week.
Mm-hmm.
Considering where they were, I'm not gonna lie, he might get SEC Coach of the Year if not Clark Lee.
No, I think Clark Lee gets SEC Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I mean,
Clark Lee gets.
It's either him or Elko. If Elko runs this thing, it's got to be Elko.
If Elko runs the table, he's the Coach of the Year.
Yeah,
Elko runs the table. Texas A&M, he gets Coach of the Year.
Yeah,
and guys, not to toot my own horn, that was one of my dark horses at the beginning of the year. I said, watch out for Elko, and I didn't even know how good the Reed kid was going to turn out. I knew they had a power running game with Owens. I knew they had some skill players. They had some quality transfers that they took, ironically from Georgia. That weren't happy there.
That LSU game. I mean, they look so deflated.
Yeah.
It's just really sad.
They quit, man.
32 points in 8 minutes will do that to you.
Yeah.
It felt like it was just going downhill all at once. I never seen the game get that out of hand. Like it got out of hand fast.
Fans leaving at the beginning of the third quarter, Pair, at LSU Stadium, which is supposed to be like the premier place to have a game at night.
Well, remember
when we went. This is the premier place to have a game at night.
Well, let's remember when Heupel and them went down there before the Alabama game back in 22. We chased them out of the third quarter of their stadium in the daytime.
Yeah, that early noon game that was an 11 o'clock.
They were really at halftime.
Tennessee so much, and that's the thing that was so relevant right there of how prepared UT was for that game. And you would have thought that the 11 o'clock kick would have affected UT more than LSU, and no, they kicked their ass.
They were ready.
They were ready. That was a good team. That was a fun UT team that will be in one of those what if things if he never gets hurt, Herndon doesn't ever get hurt. You know what I mean? So yeah, but. Larry said he'd like to see Coach O in Knoxville. I mean, Orgeron was on that Kiffin staff back then.
He was.
Yeah, and he talked people into not going to class when
to leave to USC.
So,
and leave to USC. Go to USC.
We're not going back down that road.
Yeah,
crazy time.
Burn the mattresses down.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing too. Like, some of these coaches, man, they may not look like they have it between the ears or they have a look about them, but man, they get the most out of their players because that's the thing that I think LSU will live to regret. Those guys played hard for Coach O. They would die on their sword and shield for their coach, man.
Yeah, but the problem is none of them are left there now.
They're not there no more. Exactly right. So, but I'm just saying that, like, you've got to make that decision. Are the players happy with the guy? Or not, but at the same time, it's like the Wild West. These players can say, "Screw you guys, I'm going to the rival." I mean, simple as that. So
the problem that Orgeron would face too if he came back to coaching, he's been out 5 years. The world has changed. Yeah, he's been 5 years. The world has changed in the last 5 years, man. The world
like he's been gone that long.
Yeah. Kelly's been there. This is his third. He was gone before. They had an interim coach to finish out for him. So yeah, the world has changed. The world, the NIL. He wasn't here when NIL kicked in. Now you got.
He was doing it anyways.
He was doing it anyway, but now it's legal. You got to negotiate that stuff now. Now it's all legal. That's
why a lot of people say
Saban will come back. 66 years old.
That's why I laugh when people say Saban will come back. Saban ain't coming.
Not good.
Dude, why would Saban leave game day, man? He gets fed every week.
Why?
Why would he do that?
Miss Terry will not let him come back to college.
No.
And the man's got over 200.
He doesn't need to. He's never coming back.
And the man's got over 200 million in the bank. Why?
And I actually enjoy him on game day. He brings such knowledge, and it's like no wonder this guy ruled college football for all these years or whatever. He was that much smarter and so ahead of the game than everybody else at this point. I mean, and it was his world until he said, "I've had enough." So, I want to touch on NFL real quick. I
think world until he couldn't hand out Chargers and Challengers anymore.
That's true also. That's real quick before we go to the NFL, I want to say one more thing about another program that's kind of just around there and so forth like that. With what Michigan lost and what they've gone through, and then there's talk that the people want to get in on this and get rid of Sharon. They should be so damn lucky they have that man.
That would be a mistake.
That would be stupid. And they've got a lot of a young, talented team that will be a player next year just because this year didn't pan out. I mean, and they've got a very exciting young quarterback that's only going to get better. I mean, but that's all I got to say. I mean, again, and I think that's also why Wisconsin's not fired Luke Nickel yet, because who the hell are they going to get? So, but I did want to go to the NFL. Speaking of LSU alums, that Jaden Daniels injury, man, was absolutely disgusting. And I'm also going to throw this out there. What the hell was he doing in the game when you were still down 38-7? Were you going to come back? I mean, what? Or were you going to flip the score? I mean, why was he even in the game, guys?
Washington curse.
You want to talk about fans leaving at halftime? They were leaving in the middle of the second quarter. Sam Darnold was 16 for 16 and was carving them up like a Thanksgiving turkey. The game was over in the middle of the second quarter, and NBC had to find fill-in material for 2.5 hours.
Yes. And Kerry,
how bad that was.
And Kerry, why in the hell was that game the 8:00 game and not the Bills Chiefs? That was absolutely phenomenal to watch. I know you were happy you got the win, but what a great game. I was glued to it for all 3.5 hours, and I can't remember that for an NFL game that I was like that wasn't a Super Bowl.
Highest rated game that weekend. It was the highest rated game that
they
weekend.
should have flexed that game.
Josh Allen is 5-1 against Patrick Mahomes
in the regular season.
Yeah.
It's the postseason where we need to get one. But that was the highest rate, CBS's highest rated regular season game in the last 25 years. Their top 5 since then, Bills and Chiefs are 4 of the 5. That's money. That's a money matchup that gets eyeballs. NBC is not going to touch that game. CBS gets that game. As long as CBS is breathing, that's their game. That's going to be their signature middle of the year game, probably for the next 10 to 15, as long as Mahomes and Allen are playing.
Yeah,
and they both got like another 10 years.
That's the new Manning Brady.
It is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's the new Manning Brady.
And the scary part is the ratings are higher for Mahomes and Allen than they were for Brady and Manning. That's how scary that is.
Because you have a new group. You have a new group of kids who grew up on those two. Becoming adults now.
Yep. Real quick, and then the Ravens. I mean, are they back on track? I mean, they beat the shit out of the Dolphins, which everybody does. But but I will say this: the Dolphins managed to really outdo themselves last week. Miami football right now is so bad. It's in both the college and the NFL is so terrible. But here's what Miami decides to do, and it will go to that next segment when we do that. The tanking for who? Now Miami's basically given up. It's only a matter of time before McDaniel gets shown the door. They've already gotten rid of Greer. But what do they decide to do? They decide to make the world champs. You're welcome, Michael Lynn. I love you to death, brother. They make the world champs better by getting rid of one of their best defensive ends, Jalen Phillips, a University of Miami grad, by the way, and make them better. I mean, on defense. I mean, like they needed another pass rusher on that defense. I mean,
don't worry, my boys are going down there Sunday. We're gonna take care. We're gonna finish them off Sunday. We'll finish them off Sunday for you. We may only bring half a team, but we'll finish them off for you. Sunday.
Well, they better damn do good because I got James Cook and Shamir playing this week, so I need that fantasy football win.
They're playing this week.
But gosh, I mean the Dolphins are ass. I mean it's and then Larry Frank. Here we go. How about them Cowboys? I mean the Cardinals with a backup quarterback beat their ass on Monday. I mean, oh my gosh. So yeah.
And now Kyler Murray's on the IR. Brissett's going to be starting pretty much. Pittsburgh will choke because the Ravens schedule, they play the Bengals twice. They still got the Browns, and they play the Steelers twice. They still have 5 division games left to play. They should win at least 4 of them, if not all 5.
Larry even said, unfortunately, the Ravens are because Pittsburgh will choke like Ron Jeremy's co-star. So there you go. It is after 11 o'clock, so we're good.
The bigger thing of this is now the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You're 5-4. They got 2 teams to chase to try to win a division title. If the playoffs started right now, they're out. They lose tiebreakers to Buffalo, Jacksonville, and they got Denver in 2 weeks after their bye, and they play Denver twice in the next 3 weeks. If they don't beat Denver both times, they could miss the play. Wouldn't that be an interesting story for the NFL playoffs? If Patrick Mahomes, for the first time in his career, not only doesn't even make the championship game, doesn't even make the playoffs.
The Taylor Swift curse is what Larry Frank.
Yeah, the wedding's happening after the season.
It is. Well, and then Shane, how about our Titans? They managed to outdo everybody. They couldn't get it in on the goal line on 3 tries against the Chargers defense. Then, with a chance to maybe make some noise in the game, you take the ball out of Cam Ward's hands, kick it with the thought that you might get it back when that defense hasn't stopped the cold and the Chargers run out the clock. I mean, you can't make this up of how hurtful this football weekend was, guys, for me. I couldn't lose every chance you could get.
I saw a TikTok.
Absolutely.
Sunday night, Monday morning.
That's just.
It was like, it's Titans football season when the opposing team takes over Broadway.
Yep. There were more Charger fans in the stadium than there were Titans fans.
I lived in San Diego back when Qualcomm was less than a mile from my house. I would pull for the Chargers right now before I ever pull for the Titans.
Hey, speaking
I've been a Titans fan since they were the Tennessee Oilers.
Yeah.
It is.
Speaking of SoFi Stadium and the Chargers, guess who could be the newest tenant? The UCLA Brewers is trying to get out of the Rose Bowl lease so they can play in SoFi Stadium.
No,
there's a fight with the city council right now. City council is trying. Yep, they're trying to keep them to their lease. They want to move to SoFi Stadium.
Can you imagine?
UCLA.
Why would you give that up?
You don't even have people going to the Rose Bowl. What makes you think anybody's going to show up to the SoFi?
Well, they can barely get.
You got to play with somebody else, and you got people on the upkeep.
Yep.
Well, and here we go, guys. It's our favorite segment, tanking for who. Let's look at them. And Larry, I love when Larry brings up the Saints because he knows, and I hate it for our buddy Paul Romero, who's a big Saints fan. But I mean, who dat? I mean, they are who dat. I mean, but yeah, I mean, Titans 1-8. Let me just tell you something. The Cardinals, I think, if they would have started Brissett, probably beat the Titans. So the Titans should probably be 0-9, to be honest with you, instead of Kyler Murray. But yeah, so the Titans are 1-8. The Saints are 1-8. The Jets were off last week, so that's why they got to stay at 3. The Dolphins have 2 wins. I still don't know how that happened. The Browns have 2 wins because they beat the Dolphins. The Giants, unfortunately, I mean, just find new ways to lose. But they've got a young, up-and-coming team. I think they're in a lot better shape than some people think. The Giants. The record may not reflect it, but like you said, if they make the right coaching hire, they've got some young pieces. Get another good draft pick. You know, the world's the limit. The Raiders are doing a fire sale. They got rid of Jacoby Meyer. And then the Bengals, you've mentioned them, and now the Commanders. This curse of another great quarterback getting hurt. What the hell do you do after all that promise you had last year? So
the Jets know they're not going to get the number 1 pick. They made a whole bunch of trades for the deadline.
No, but they got 5 number 1 picks in the next 2 years. They can build themselves a team.
Plus some second, third round picks also.
They could build themselves a team real quick.
Yeah, the Jets will be competitive real quick based off what they did for the trade deadline. The Titans are garbage.
Do a fire sale.
Yeah, the Titans are garbage. I'm curious if they keep their number 1 draft pick or do they trade it off for somebody who needs it and get a O lineman or D lineman.
I wonder if you
Who you
trade
talking
that
about,
number
Titans?
one pick. I wonder if you trade that number one pick to see if you can get 2 first-rounders and get 2 badass offensive linemen. That's what the hell you need.
Get,
I mean,
get
honestly.
as many picks as you want, because if you're the Titans, you don't need to draft a quarterback. You already got the guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now you build the team around him. Go trade that number one pick, get a couple of number ones, get a couple of offensive line.
The Titans need a number one. The Titans need an O line and a number one receiver.
Yep.
What they've kept doing in the past couple of years, and Amy Struck probably needs to go ahead and just step away from having controlling interest in the Titans, is you get an actual go-to number one receiver, and you get an O-line like you did when you had Taylor Lewan.
That's the first thing I would do.
At your left guard. You get an O-line and you get somebody. You got what? Hopkins, freaking. Who did they pull from?
Ridley's hurt. I mean, I think he's done for the year. Is he on IR at this point? I mean,
Not
he
yet.
can't even shoot. I mean,
But what I would do, I would draft a lineman first, get yourself a line, build your team from inside out. The good teams that you've seen have good offensive lines and have good defensive lines. Build from the inside out. You could get this draft has skill players. This draft has a lot of receivers and a lot of tight ends. You could get your supply of them down the line. You may not have to get them in the first round, but I would get your offensive
The receiver is the new running back.
Yeah.
You use them for as long as you can, and then you can draft another.
Yep.
Because every time it's how the running back position became for a while, where they never make it to their second contract. You just go ahead and get the next guy.
I'll tell you what
else. Receivers in Tennessee has been notorious for grabbing
bad wide
dominating receivers, but
they don't
late stages of their career. They grab them late stages in their career.
Real quick, listen to this story that Larry Frank shared about the Saints. So don't feel bad. There was a report of a priest being assaulted by Saints fans because he was from Los Angeles and was a Rams fan. They gave him a concussion with his own Bible. Sad days, man.
That's sad.
I mean, how are you going to beat the shit out of Father Mike? That is just terrible. I mean, that's the Saints right there. I mean, my God.
That's the Saints for you.
Yeah, and they won't even play the backup, the quarterback they drafted, and they've just left poor Spencer Rattler out there to take
played
everything.
last week. He played last week. He's the starter for the rest of the year. The guy they drafted, he's the starter for the rest of the year.
The Saints don't draft the quarterback. They still hold off for Arch Manning.
Hey, two-pair, who's worse right now? Louisiana football with LSU and the Saints, or Miami with the Dolphins and the Hurricanes? I mean, that is just a toss-up of crap right there between those four. So, yeah, I mean.
It's about Hurricane
the Saints are just bad, though.
The Saints are terrible.
The Saints are bad. Like,
the Dolphins are
fired
bad.
their coach. Like, Miami ain't got it as that bad. The Miami fired their GM. So... I'd say Louisiana.
Oh yeah, don't forget the Pelicans The Pelicans suck too.
Yeah, the Pelicans. Have they even won again? Zion's hurt again. He's out 10 days.
He's missed 296 games in his career in 7 years.
How many whoppers has he had in that time? You think, or whatever like that?
How many whoppers? How many strippers? How many all kinds of escorts? My God, this man has gone all. I mean, when we've gone all around the world, we've gone all around the world with Zion.
It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. It's like Duke doesn't even acknowledge him anymore. They just talk about Paolo and Kyrie and Cooper. I mean, they don't even talk about Zion anymore. It's hilarious.
I watched that Boozer kid last night against Texas. Stud. Grade A stud. And Texas is not bad. And Texas wasn't bad.
No, and that guy's going to be a problem. And like the SEC needed to get better. Like even harder. Sean Miller is a pain in the ass.
Sean Miller's a terrific coach.
Coach. So I was going to bring that up, by the way, and I've got the college basketball poll underneath. Thank God, because of how bad my football teams did in college and pro. Thank God, college basketball is back. The Vols looked solid in their win against Mercer. Miami basketball looks back with Jai Lucas. They looked good in their first game. But I'm just like thinking about it. And then I watched these freshman kids. The kid from Carolina, I told you guys this Caleb Wilson kid, he's the real deal.
Yeah.
Koa Pete, stud. 30 points for Arizona, the son of Arizona, trying to bring a title to the Wildcats, and they knock off the defending champs. And he outplayed Condon one-on-one, man. I mean, Koa Pete.
I watched that game. That was a well-played game.
It was.
Well-played game with Florida and Arizona.
And Arizona's a really good team. So
Arizona's going to be tough, man.
Mm-hmm.
They always are. They find a way to be. Tommy Rees does a great job out there with that team. They're always in the money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Purdue is going to be tough. Kentucky going to be a problem.
They are going to be a problem.
Kentucky's going to be a major
the whole
problem.
SEC. Okay, so let me bring this up. So I want to talk about Tennessee basketball for a second, because I'm going to tell you this, man. I am even more grateful for Rick Barnes and the staff and how they just are prepared. The pieces fit. They're big, they're tough, and you need that to compete in the physicality of the SEC. And I'm not trying to troll. Guys. Nope. But I already have Auburn fans like scratching their heads about how they almost lost to Bethune-Cookman the other night.
Yep.
And Bethune's pretty good.
Yeah, they are. They're pretty good.
It ain't no more levels to this. Like, everybody's.
The NIL in college basketball has made more parity.
Yes,
because there's only 12 spots on each team. Yeah. So yes, NIL in college basketball, and you saw this last year. You saw it last year. You're going to see it even more now because it makes everybody almost a level playing field in college basketball, man.
Yeah,
you got some talent.
I know that the college basketball, really is. The women's game has done it for years because, of course, what they had to do to even showcase their brand of basketball. But I'm glad college basketball has realized that you need these sexy matchups at the beginning of the year, like you mentioned, Texas Duke last night, the Florida Arizona game. You've got on Friday night. Of course, we're going to be invested in high school football playoffs here, but you got a great game between two blue bloods in North Carolina and Kansas. That's a rematch from the championship from 3 years ago.
Hey, on Saturday, there's another one. You got Arkansas and Michigan State.
Yeah.
That's going to be real
Calipari
good.
looks like he's got a good team.
Yeah, he's got a good squad.
And Arkansas plays Duke the day after Thanksgiving, by the way. So that's another big time matchup there. So, yeah.
And shout out to Kim Caldwell and the women, because they lost a tough one at NC State, but that's a sexy women's matchup, 8 versus 9 to start the season. And what a ball game that was. Went right down to the end. And Kim Caldwell's got a heck of a team ready to compete at Thompson.
And then Gino looks like he's got a team. I mean, they blew out Louisville, who's a number 20 preseason team, and they look like they've not missed a beat losing Paige Bucher.
And South Carolina's going to be reloaded, but even Dawn Staley knows we got competition now with LSU, Tennessee, Texas. They got Mississippi State. They got major competition. The SEC women's side could be as competitive as the men's side. That's a scary thought because you got them big time talent.
Yeah. And talking about Tennessee basketball, what impressed me is the fact that how many guys he's got in the rotation, and you need that, man, because it's a long season. This is a grind, man. And I think being in the SEC is even more rougher than the other conferences,
Avon and Gillespie, studs. Cade Phillips. The new duo that I like over there is Cade Phillips and JP Estrella. If they both stay healthy, that's a Bruise Brothers type. You go and then you got against those guys, you're going to get hurt.
Well, and then what about the beef between the Kerry and Brown? Brown, that freshman. I mean, that's a grown man. I was like, he's a freshman. Where they grow him at? I mean, I saw him against Duke in that preseason game last week.
He looks like a linebacker, man.
Yeah, no, they're big. They're big. Here's one. LSU beat a team by 100 last week. That's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Tennessee. So late balls.
Yeah. Zion pulled a hamstring picking up DoorDash taco order. He sure did. So
Zion's on that freaking Ozempic freaking diet. He's still down weight.
He lost all that weight and he still got hurt. I don't get that.
What, straight hamstring?
I mean, dude, but the Pelicans, like, they don't have anybody else on that roster. I mean, Brandon Ingram's doing some work at his new place. I mean, like, they don't got anybody left.
Them relocating out of New Orleans.
Where would they go? Vegas?
I don't know, but
Does
I've heard
Vegas
of
have an NBA
relocating
team?
out of Memphis.
Seattle.
Vegas is going to get one.
Yeah.
Seattle and Vegas are supposed to be next on the list.
Give me back the
Vegas would
Supersonics.
be pretty cool.
Give me back Supersonics.
I love that was part of my childhood, man. The Supersonics, downtown.
Give me back the Supersonics.
Jack Sigma.
The Thunder no longer get to claim anything Seattle has. Move them back to Seattle.
Yep.
Two pair. I got one for you real quick. Speaking of Vegas or whatever, to go back to the college football for a name that might go back to the
Dan
SEC
Mullen.
somewhere. Dan Mullen. Dan Mullen.
A lot of people see
He was a good UNLV.
A lot of people see him in Arkansas.
I still can't believe
that
the
would
game.
make sense.
That
would make sense.
I just don't know if he. I don't know if he leaves UNLV right now.
Oh, come on.
My brother lives out in Vegas. They just don't have the money.
They just
don't
have
have
the
NIL.
money.
They don't have the NIL. You would think they have some
You would
NIL
think
money.
so, though.
They don't.
I think if he comes back to the SEC, it's got to be an attractive
And I think Arkansas's
it.
Oh, can I ask you guys something? So the Pac-12, you know how they're getting a bunch of teams. Is UNLV going to be one of those teams that goes to the Pac-12?
No, I think they're staying Mountain West.
Are they? Okay. I was just curious
staying
because
Mountain
that might be something to be part of, to be in the Pac-12. You're the rejuvenation of that with all those teams moving. I didn't know if they were
I
one
would
of them.
love to see UNLV in the Pac-12 for basketball. Would be
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. Well, the Pac-12 would have been smart to get in that market. I mean, they lost the LA market. So, and now they're having to get Fresno State and the smaller schools, San Diego State, to try to get those markets back for the Pac-12. So, they're in California.
But yeah, college basketball is going to be just as chaotic as college football. You're going to see a lot of good matchups, a lot of good conferences, the sexy matchups. I call this the silly season, the beginning, because you have some blowouts, but then you have the real good matchups like Duke and Texas last night. That was fun.
It was a fun game.
Was a lot of fun.
It was a fun game.
And the Dick Vitale Invitational.
You know who's actually going to be really good this year? They were good last year, and they really exceeded expectations. And I saw them live, Louisville. And I know they didn't play anybody, but guys, they hung 115. It was I swear, I looked at the score. It was 65-15 at halftime. South Carolina upstate they were playing, and that's what you do to teams like that. I mean, that is prepared. St. John's is another team.
Reloaded.
So,
they've reloaded them and UConn for the Big East. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Would any desperate schmucks buy out Lincoln Riley? Maybe LSU wants that route again. I don't know.
I don't see him. Well, if he wanted to go to the SEC the first time, LSU would have been the job he was going to take, but then he leaves to go to USC to avoid coaching in the SEC. I don't see him coming to the SEC.
I think that he's got a quarterback, and they've not looked terrible this year. I mean, they went toe-to-toe with Notre Dame. They lost a heartbreaker going for 2 against Illinois, and that's not really that great of a win or great of a loss anymore. But still, I just think that he might have a quarterback in Jay Maivia that might keep him there.
I agree.
So, and their path isn't as tough. I mean, honestly. So, yeah.
Nope.
But I don't know. I did want to. Oh, wait. Let's see here. Did you all see Kian Anthony or Kian Anthony? He looked just like his dad. Solid debut. Yes, he did.
Is his dad Greg Anthony?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
Carmelo.
Carmelo
Gotcha.
Anthony. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was one or the other.
I was thinking of Greg Anthony's son, that Cole Anthony, that played in North Carolina. And where's he at in the NBA? Because he was at the Magic for
Orlando.
a while.
He's still in Orlando.
He's still in Orlando. Okay, I thought I didn't know where he was. So
they were on TV last night too. Got to see them with Atlanta. Atlanta, the Hawks are pretty decent this year, and so is Orlando. Eastern Conference is up for grabs, man. The East is
and poor Trae Young, man, he can't stay healthy.
Can't catch a break.
Poor Trae Young,
can't catch a break,
man. He's a talented. He's been always awesome. I've always liked that guy, and he always got kind of overshadowed being in Luka's class or whatever. But I mean, he's been in a bad franchise and has been the only thing that's made them worth interesting to watch.
Him and Luka actually going to be linked forever because he should have been in Dallas and Luke should have been in Atlanta. Then they switched that. They had to switch. He'll be linked to Luka forever.
Exactly. So
I think John Morant's done in Memphis.
Yeah, they're trying to get rid of him. The problem is nobody wants him because of what's off all the off the court stuff. That's his biggest problem.
You know what the sad thing is, guys, is 6 years ago, everybody was talking about Zion and John Morant, and look at these two guys. I mean, what a waste of talent. What a waste of just God-given ability.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
The
That's
John
sad.
Morant, that 1 year he had in college, my God, nobody could
Yeah.
stop him.
No, yeah.
Murray State, nobody could stop him.
And he made the Grizzlies exciting when he won the Rookie of the Year
Exactly.
thing, and everything. I mean, I don't know,
Yep.
guys. It's very, it's just you just never know sometimes with some of these picks. You just don't know. So yeah,
Yep, you just don't know. Zion too. Zion had all the talent in the world, and then he ate himself and partied himself and strippered himself and everything else
he ate himself.
that came along with it.
Hey, and listen, if you want to write that story, I ate myself to death. The Zion Williamson story. And you could put so many puns. It'd be a New York best time seller. So yeah. And then you still have Stephen A. crying that the Knicks didn't get that lottery pick. I think that you guys worked out pretty well.
I think you caught a break.
You took Barrett, and then you made some great picks out for getting rid of Barrett. I mean, are you kidding me? So yeah.
Put up what Larry said.
Let me see what Larry said real quick. Exactly, no pun intended. So yes. A lot of whoppers during that time, guys.
Eating the strippers, you might want to get tested.
Yeah. In more ways than one, he ate a lot of whoppers. In more ways than one.
Oh my God, Zion Williamson. Oh my goodness. Wow. So, real quick, I wanted to talk. I wanted to give a shout out because we always like to acknowledge champions and back to back. And let me tell you something. I'm not the biggest Major League Baseball fan, but damn, man, props to the Dodgers.
Yeah.
They went back to back. They looked dead in the water. I mean, let me tell you this. But also, it was such a series of back and forth. Obviously, they took it 4-3. I really thought, though, when they won that 18 inning game that was like the longest game in history now, and won it, I thought the Blue Jays were done. Then the Blue Jays come back with a counterpunch, only to lose the last two in Toronto, and poor Don Mattingly is still without a ring. I mean, I thought that it was. I mean, he didn't get one with the Yankees, and it's like he can't get one with the Blue Jays as a skipper.
It's not like the Blue Jays blew it. The Dodgers went out and won it.
They won it. It was the ninth inning. They extended the game, and that's just the Dodgers, man. They're just a solid.
When you win the World Series in extra innings, in Game 7.
Yeah.
Especially how many times that has happened over the history. That has not happened very often, but like you said, to win it in extra innings in Game 7 on the road, that's impressive.
Do you know, I was thinking back to like, Shane, you brought up something in the chat, and also you did too, Pair, about what a great World Series it was. I was thinking back to like World Series that stand out to me in the past. And me being a Marlins fan, the one that they won in 97, they bought it, but to go toe-to-toe with the Indians, and there were some extra inning games in that one, they won in Game 7. I was thinking back to that 2002 series between the San Francisco Giants and the Angels, and the Angels won in 7 games. That was a great one. But I was just thinking, like, this one though, man, this had so much drama, and it was really definitely the two best teams going at it. I mean,
in my era, the only other two that compare to that, 91, the Braves and the Twins went 7 games, and that was amazing. And the Cubs and the Indians.
That was a great series too, Cubs with all those pitchers that the Braves had. Yeah, the Cubs and the Indians.
And the Cubs and Indians in 2016 because you gained.
Yeah, because that one had so much emotion because it was like who was going to break the curse, like, was Cleveland going to get that off their back, and the Cubbies with the GOAT and everything. I mean, that was.
And that Game 7, extra innings, 2-hour rain delay, back and forth leads. And then Chapman strikes the door, and the Cubs were down in that series 3-1, won the last 3, especially the last 2 in Cleveland, to win the title and break their curse.
Exactly. Real quick, guys, we got some business Friday night. I wanted to highlight this one. The West Rebels lost a tough one to Powell last week, 15-3. But basically, they've got a chance to go up against the defending champion, Sevier County, get some retribution for that controversial loss last year that prevented them from going for 3 in a row. But one thing I wanted to talk about this game is definitely come out and support the guys out there in Sevier County. I think that they're going to give it their best shot. But you know what's really crazy about this game, guys, that not many people have thought about? I'm sure there's some players from both teams that may have either moved away or transferred that still had eligibility left. But I want you all to think about this. When these two teams kick off the ball on Friday night, these are the three last champions in 5A, which stands to me that all these other teams in 5A, no disrespect, when they line up the ball, they have a dream. They're hoping to get these, like what's behind me right now. But the players that were on those teams, either as freshmen, sophomores, juniors, they all on the field represent your 5A last three state champions with a chance that the winner has an inside track to get another one.
This is
Sevier
a legacy
County
game.
going to back-to-back. I mean, this
could be this could be a legacy game.
This could be a legacy
in so many ways. Could you imagine if West were to win this game, the role that they could go on and win a third in 4 years?
They're capable.
And then if you look at Sevier County, they win the game, they could go to repeat just like West did the last 2 years. I mean, the possibilities out of this is endless. If I'm the rest of 5A, I'm looking at this matchup and I'm fearing whoever wins, because either team's going on a run. If it's Sevier County, you're going to have to go up there and beat them. If West wins, they're going to come to your city and probably beat you too.
Yep.
I mean, it's going to be fun.
Hey, Two Pair, here's my last chip, buddy. Here's my last chip. I'm in. I'm still all in for 3 out of 4. I mean, but realistically, and you also brought up something, Kerry, that's really interesting. You know, West is trying to get that 4th state championship. Sevier County has 2 in their history, 99 and 2024.
We're
absolutely. There it is, man.
There it is. All out there.
Yep. I got 5 on it too, but I mean, I'm just being serious. Yeah. Right. I mean, but yeah, like, so this is a legacy game. That couldn't be perfectly said. Two Pair, what's your thoughts on this big time matchup? You know, and then I'm also going to throw out there the matchups for our area teams. You know, you got Farragut at Dobbins Bennett, Bradley Central at Jefferson County, West Ridge at Maryville. Science Hill and Oak Ridge is actually going to be the Thursday night game tomorrow night.
The weather.
And the weather. Yes, some teams are moving their games to the weather because it's going to be bad Friday night. Obviously, I've mentioned West and Sevier County. You got Davy Crockett traveling to Central. Halls has got to be on the road up to Tennessee High. Morristown West comes to Powell. And then in 4A, you know, I mean, the improbable happened last week. Anderson County beat Alcoa. Gibbs is thinking they're hosting a home game, and now Gibbs by default is going to Elizabethton as the 3 seed or what have you, because of the head-to-head of losing to Alcoa, and Alcoa got the 2 seed, and Anderson County snuck in there in the 1 seed.
That
so
Carter versus Greenville game is very intriguing.
It is
very intriguing.
Yeah,
both teams like to score a lot of points. That could be a shootout.
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah. Any matchup stand out to you, Two Pair or Shane, from the bottom there? I mean, other than the West game tomorrow night or Friday night, you know, I've got them highlighted. If you see any that could be potential upsets, or is chalk going to be the story and so forth for these first round matchups?
I'm curious on the Science Hill Oak Ridge game. Both teams are defensively some of the best in the state. Right now, both are averaging under 10 points a game defensively. So that's going to be a good game.
That could be a hard-hitting defensive 6-3 type ball. That could be an easy 6-3 ball game.
Yeah. Two Pair, I wanted to ask you, who do you, how do you think Oak Ridge rebounds from last week's loss to Maryville? They lost 34-0, and you know, Science Hill actually gave Maryville a game for a half, and we saw Science Hill, you know, get beat by West in that scrimmage back in the spring. But I guess my question is, who do you have given the edge based on how these teams finished up the year and so forth? Science Hill or Oak Ridge? I mean, Oak Ridge was 9-0 and really got humbled last week against a very, very good Maryville team that looks like they're on a mission right now. Honestly, they do.
Man, I think Oak Ridge is still writing the story, man. I think they got a very good football team.
They're very well coached too.
They're very well coached. I just think it's gotta be what Oak Ridge team are we gonna see? We're gonna see the team that laid an egg, that didn't come with the best version of them, or we're gonna see what we're accustomed to seeing with Oak Ridge. And I think we're gonna see we're gonna see what we're accustomed to seeing with them, and they'll win convincingly.
Shane, what was your thoughts about? I mean, we were talking about that game last week, the Alcoa Anderson County game on Halloween night. Man, was it the spooky ghosts, vampires, witches? What the hell happened that night? Because I thought Alcoa was just going to just roll. I mean, and they still might, but I just thought they would have that undefeated, by their name because they got the Maryville game early on in the year and they hadn't been touched until Friday night.
I think it comes down to Alcoa finally made that move up in their district. Anderson County is a tough team to beat at home. Ever. I mean, I watched Bearden games there back in the day, and those were some tough games.
West has had some tough games there too with that spectacle of the
County is a good.
Yeah, we won a 7-3 game, I believe.
Yeah, we did.
A couple years ago.
Yes, we did.
Bearden won a game there with 12 players on the field.
Yeah.
You go back and look at one of the Coach Gates showing the video with Bearden with 12 players on the field on offense. I might have been at that game. I might know who the players were. Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's history.
But Anderson County is a damn good team, and we all know that they get to pick whoever they want outside Knox County. Campbell County would have an amazing football team if Anderson County didn't exist.
Yep.
And Bearden would not have gone 0-9. I guarantee you that. I mean, and it would have been 0-10 if they had played West. That's the sad part about that.
Yeah, I mean, I got some players on that team. I love those kids. They fought their fucking hearts out this year.
Props to them.
Anderson County deserved it. They've won a state title. They're welcoming Alcoa to their world. Alcoa is still the epitome of East Tennessee football.
Yep.
Alcoa, Maryville, 1A, 1B. But you cannot knock Anderson County for what they did. They deserve the 1 seed. Those two are going to rematch each other here in a few weeks.
Yep.
And it's going to be at Anderson County again because they got the home field by winning that game. So that was huge for them. So, yeah.
Davey Gillum,
What bothered me watching that game is Alcoa's quarterback took way too long in the pocket. Like, his stats are amazing this year. But his reads took forever.
Yeah, he's not the fastest reader of defense.
It wasn't like, I don't know. It wasn't defensive coverage. He doesn't know where to throw.
Yeah.
He's waiting until he sees complete separation. He doesn't know his receiver's going to break, when, and where. He's got great stats. I saw his stats. He's amazing. He should be Mr. Tennessee 4A football nominee. I won't say deserves the award, but at least nominee.
Yeah.
He took way too long. I've seen middle school quarterbacks with reads in him.
Well, you want to know something? The thing, talking about Anderson County, do you know who has just like really, and I thought he was a great player at Bearden, but Jason Thompson, and Tupper, you mentioned him at the beginning of the year, man. That kid is just like really put Anderson County on his back. I mean, the whole team is a good team, but man, I've seen just him take that next step that I didn't think he ever took at Bearden. And I don't know if it's the coaching at Anderson County, but damn, I mean, he was on a mission on Friday night. And they're looking good.
Like he's been truly one of the better players to watch in the city.
Yeah.
It
looks like he's having fun, but keep going. Yes.
Yeah, and I think it was a big get for Anderson County to get him when everything unfolded at Bearden. And you just see him taking that next step into that superstardom.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to tell you this right now, and I don't want to jinx them or anything like that, but I think that 6A, they've got some pretty decent teams. You got Ravenwood on the other side of the state that's traditionally a power.
Yep.
No need to mention Murfreesboro, Oakland. But I will say this, though, with it being an odd year, I think that Maryville might get that great opportunity with Oakland because the game would be in Maryville, because it would go to the higher ranked team on this side of the state on an odd year, where the even year it would have been the home game would be at Oakland. So Oakland has to travel, provided both teams take care of business, which I think they will. They've done all year. Those two teams are on a collision course, and I really believe, no disrespect to Ravenwood, the winner of that Maryville-Oakland game is going to be your 6A champion, and I just think that Maryville's due. I think that they have put 3 years into this. That quarterback of theirs, Wes, I mean, he is really good.
Yeah,
Will Jones, I mean, he's the real deal.
So. Hey guys, I gotta jump off here.
All right, man.
All right, brother.
All right, man. Take it easy. See ya.
See you, brother. If they don't stop Will Jones, no one's beating Maryville. No one's beating them if they don't stop Will Jones.
Yeah. And it also helps that you got Coach Lamar Brown there, and so you got like two state champion head coaches.
What an extra
with a brainchild at Maryville with all those great assistants.
What an extra bit of experience to come in with 2 state titles under his belt. Yeah. That's enough experience there. If they don't win the state, it's going to take a great effort from somebody to keep them from winning it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to just say this: the winner of the West Sevier County game is my pick to win 5A. I think Page will probably get back there again, but I just think that whoever comes out of the gauntlet of the East or what have you, the beasts of the East, is going to show once again why they run 5A. And then, no disrespect to anybody else in 4A, I've got to roll with either Anderson County or Alcoa. Do you guys see anything different than what I just picked, or what? So at this
Anderson County's got one of the hardest jobs to do of anybody in the state. If it gets to a game with Alcoa again, they've got to beat them twice. You know how many teams have beaten Alcoa twice in the same season? It hasn't. Let's put it this way. It hasn't happened.
Let me ask you
the first. They'd be the first.
Did that CAK team that had Todd Howell and all them, Todd Howell's son Davis and all them, do it back in 12? By any chance?
They did. I think they're the only ones that.
I think they're the only team, and that CAK was special because remember, Josh was their big time receiver that went to UT. That was the I forget his last name.
Josh Smith.
Josh Smith, yeah. So they had some dudes, that CAK team back then.
And I remember that season in the playoff because I did their quarterfinal game against Fulton at Fulton, and that was a score fest, and they just outlasted Fulton. They're one of the few teams that I had seen of Fulton's era when Fulton was really good. Catholic just came in and outscored them. They outscored them. My God, it was
well, and that's the other thing too. Like real quick, because I want to get to our your segment and of course our favorite, that they stink. But I was just going to mention very quickly that those games between CAK and Alcoa, they just didn't flat out like each other, and it was really competitive that couple of years before CAK made the move to private school and so forth. But it was fun times back then in the early 2000s, 10s, or what have you of that. So, but should be some good ones tomorrow night or tomorrow night and Friday night. So good luck to all those young men, especially the seniors, for West and for everybody, because that's it, and you got to leave it out there. Honestly,
leave it all out there on the field.
And for the underclassmen, send your seniors out with a championship, honestly. So, but real quick, Kerry, what are your big games, by the way? So before we get to they stink.
2 in the college game. I got BYU and Texas Tech. Of course, that's a major game, and a Big 12 game day is there. It's the noon kickoff. It's going to be really competitive. Texas Tech is given 10.5 points, which is interesting for a BYU team who plays very tough, very disciplined football. And then the other one I have for the college is Texas A&M goes to Missouri. This is a tough one. This is an old Big 12 matchup. Now that they're both in the SEC, this is going to be a tough matchup. But I think A&M, they've composed themselves so well. They're favored by 6.5, but I think that's going to be an absolute fun football game with them in Missouri. I just think Missouri starting quarterback being out gives Texas A&M that difference maker. Reed is a handful.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That poor young man, I forget his name. He got hurt against Vanderbilt, and if he was playing tomorrow or Saturday rather, I think that Missouri was prime for the upset. I really do. But I just think Elko and that A&M team are on a mission right now, man. Honestly, so yeah.
And in the NFL, we got some really interesting games this week in the NFL. We got some good division matchups and a couple of conference. We got Rams and 49ers, which is the national game Sunday afternoon. We got a 6-2 team Rams against a 6-3 Niners team that has played very well despite all of their injuries. Okay. It's going to be a tough one. And Sunday night, which is an interesting one, we got Pittsburgh and the LA Chargers at SoFi. Should be very interesting. I want to see how Pittsburgh, after that great win against Indianapolis, I want to see how they respond going 3,000 miles to the Chargers, who need to keep winning to keep pace. And then Monday night intrigues me. You got the Eagles and the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
We know who the Eagles are. They're the defending Super Bowl champions. They just got better with adding Jalen Phillips. But the question is, who are the Green Bay Packers?
They are the most frustrating team to watch.
Them and Atlanta are the two most frustrating teams that I've seen all year because when Green Bay looks good, they've looked really good. Beating Detroit opening week, they've looked really good. The problem is their two losses, Cleveland
and
Carolina Panthers, and then they tied Dallas.
I mean,
they could be 8-0, or they could be 2-5-1.
Yeah,
we don't know who they are.
What the hell is that? I mean, that I couldn't believe that they lost to the Panthers last week. I could not believe that.
And the Panthers are now starting to show signs of life. And they could be one of those sleeper teams down the second half of the season that you ain't gonna want to play. They still got 2 meetings with Tampa and another meeting with Atlanta, and still we got 2 meetings with New Orleans,
which will be 2 easy wins for them.
They could win. They could easily win 8-9 games and might steal a playoff spot, or the division if Tampa falls to the wayside. And Tampa's got a tough one with New England coming off the bye. Their next 3 weeks, Tampa's got home to New England, at Buffalo, and then at the Rams. We're going to find out a lot about Tampa and Baker Mayfield in the next 3 weeks. Are they up here or are they down here? We're going to find out.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, I hate to admit it, man, because I ain't no Patriots fan, but what Vrabel's done, he might be coach of the year with what they've
I think done. Right now the coach of the year is between him, Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
Because Shanahan is winning with all of these, all the injuries, of these injuries. I think those two right now are your leading candidates for coach of the year, easily.
Yep. It'd be awesome. I mean, listen, when you are a coach that Don Shula said it best, guys. The superior man takes responsibility.
Yep.
The inferior man blames
everybody else.
And these guys have taken what they've gotten and are winning. And that's what it's all about. I don't care what sport it is. That is how you coach.
And the scary part with the Patriots is Mike Vrabel may be a year early. They may be a year early.
Mm-hmm.
There's still pieces that they need that they're going to be getting the next couple of years, but they might be arriving a year early. The only thing that concerns me about the Patriots, and I'm an objective Bills fan, but the one thing that concerns me, Drake May has been sacked 32 times in the first 8 games.
That's where the weak spot is.
That's where the weak spot is the offensive line.
Yeah.
If they don't get that serviced up, Drake May is going to be sacked about 60 times. Yeah. How's his body going to take that punishment? Because the best quarterbacks can't take getting sacked 50, 60 times. I mean, C.J. Stroud last year got sacked 63 times.
And look what happened. He got knocked out. I mean, he's in concussion protocol.
He's in concussion protocol.
Yeah. And Cam Ward is just getting murdered back there.
Exactly. I mean, the value of a good offensive line means more today than it has ever meant in the years prior to. Because if you don't have a good offensive line, your quarterback's going to pay for it.
You're right about that. There'll be some great matchups this week for sure.
There's going to be a lot of great matchups this week, but I highlighted those because those really have my attention.
Well, he knows a big game. He was a part of them, and listen to the guy. So honestly, keep an eye on all those games. Now to our favorite segment, They Stink. Two pair. Who do you got that really just was a big raw sewage container of nothing that really stood out to you of all so many great candidates? Who was it? Chatbox, if you got a they stink, submit it. So yeah,
the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes. Yes.
Get them.
Yes. Yes.
They stink. That was horrible. You had too many opportunities to beat the Arizona Cardinals on Monday Night Football in Dallas. The interceptions. You let Jacoby Brissett look like a bona fide NFL starting QB. Like,
He looked like Tom Brady, man. He looked like Tommy.
It was awful. It was and then they fired their coach, right? Did the Cowboys fire the coach?
mm-mm.
No, they didn't even do that.
No.
Oh my god! And was Stephen A. really in the box with Jerry Jones there? I didn't imagine that.
He was there for a quarter, and then he left because he had to fly back to New York to do show
for the show. Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
did somebody do some AI stuff there? But no, he was really there. Okay, gotcha. So,
because he did an interview on his show on Sirius FM. He did an interview with Jerry Jones, and that's where Jerry Jones admitted that I traded Micah Parsons out of spite. He admitted it to the world, which we all of us already knew. He traded him out of spite.
Mm-hmm.
He came out and admitted it to the world that I was mad at him, and that's why I traded him.
And yet the Packers, like I said, are still losing to teams.
Still confounding. We don't know what they are.
Oh my God, Jordan Love is probably the most frustrating quarterback I've ever watched. Honestly,
sometimes I think he plays well, and sometimes he just looks like he's never played a game of football in his life.
That is a perfect example of and you can't trust the Packer players in an NFL fantasy game. You just can't. I mean, no, not even their kicker. He can't even suit up sometimes. So
exactly.
I don't see anything in the chat box from anybody for they stink. But Kerry, who is your they stink? Because I wanted to go last this week. I had so many to choose from. But I want you to choose from. Yeah, but I wanted you to go first. So
no problem. Yeah. We talked about this earlier in the program. The Washington Commanders, Dan Quinn, you freaking stink. What's your quarterback doing in there at 38-7? Knowing that this franchise's history, 10 years ago, RG3, the same thing happened, except it was his leg was left dangling outside, and it was against Seattle. 10 years later, Jaden Daniels is in a game he has no business being in, 38-7, and you told him he's going and hand off. You need to save players from themselves. He should have never been in there to hand off. That's what you got backups for. That's what you got Marcus Mariota for, is to take the crap hits. Let him get the hell beat out of him, but not your starting quarterback who's already been injured 3 other times in the last 2 years. We're getting towards injury-prone time with Jaden Daniels, just like Joe Burrow. We're getting towards having that discussion about when he's healthy, he's terrific. When he's not healthy, they suffer. But Dan Quinn, for your lack of judgment and keeping him in the game of 38-7 and caused him to get hurt, you stink.
They do. They're awful.
And Dan Quinn, you'll always have the stench of 28-3 in a Super Bowl. Now you got this stench on top of that stench. You really stink.
They stink. Well, Larry's got one, by the way. The Saints fan who beat the shit out of a priest with a Bible because he was a Rams fan. You stink and hell awaits you. I agree, man.
Yeah,
that's
you know when he gets to the pearly gates, they're going to say, hey, wait a second. Did you beat up a priest because you know
what really bothers me? It's like, when did it become a crime to root for somebody else in another stadium? I mean, that's what makes it fun or whatever like that. So, my gosh.
He was excited about going to New Orleans, having a good time, rooting for his favorite team, but no, he has to go there because...
And he got the hell beat out of him.
The hell beat out of him, man. That's just wrong on so many levels.
Well... I'm going to tell you this.
Hit me with it.
So here, two pair, get ready for this one. This one's about to get heavy.
Oh, this is going to get good.
So, as you know, I'm a huge Halloween fan. My vampire, my werewolves, all that crap. I'm a big Halloween person.
Yep.
take the little girls trick-or-treating, got some full-size candy bars. It was awesome. I dressed up, even posted a picture. It was a lot of fun. They went home, watched the scary movie. Of course, we were talking about the Alcoa Anderson County game. And then something happens Friday night because I was like, wait a minute, they played? And so I watched it early because it was on replay on ESPN. I got to watch North Carolina and Syracuse play an ACC Friday night game. And they're not even they stink. It was going to be. Syracuse had all this promise, last year, played Tennessee tough. Quarterback gets hurt, unfortunately. The wheels have seemed to have fallen off. And they lose to Bill Belichick and the Gold Digger and Carolina, who can't even beat anybody, on Friday night. That was going to be my stink until 3:35 happened on Saturday. When this son of a bitch behind me managed to defy the law of physics by sucking and blowing at the exact same time. He should have gone as Pinocchio on Halloween because he told me, he told every Miami fan, it's just not good right now. What have we been doing recruiting-wise? So I'm going to send all you guys to the pasture. We're going to send these coaches out of here. They go to SMU. They almost won the ACC last year. You flubbed up. And with a generational quarterback in Cam Ward, you still couldn't do it. You were being talked about as the best team in the country and lay an egg on a Friday night against Louisville. Your quarterback that you paid $4.5 million for throws those interceptions. The quarterback you could have had in his senior year that you ran off is smoking a stogie for the celebration of the team he went to, and he didn't even play in the game, but he took the coin toss and won the coin toss in overtime that ultimately got the ball for them second to walk into the end zone. Your defense allowed them 23 yards on the ground the whole game. Their quarterback was dragging his leg around, but somehow got 376 yards that game. And at the end of it, Miami, you still had a chance to win and run out the clock, but you have linemen from your big, strong offensive line that couldn't pick up 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 the drive before. You negate the first down and running out the clock with a legal man downfield to be done by the defender that didn't hear the whistle and sacked the quarterback, and it was 4th down, giving them 3 new downs that got them down the field, that kicked the field goal, to get you to overtime, that lost you the game. Mario, Miami Hurricanes, you've been breaking my heart for 22 years, and it pains me to say this. You suck, but more importantly, you stink! And you need to give some money back and get something done, because I ain't getting any younger. I will have a full head of hair of white before you win anything for my beloved program. And I'm sick and tired of it. Miami, you stink. And unfortunately on Saturday, and I hate to say this because I know your mama was a alum of them, but it's 2 stinkers going at it on Saturday, and you're a 27.5-point favorite, and you're going to screw it up, and I know you are. And I didn't even put you down in the predictions, but you stink. So that's it. I'm done. So that was my rant. So yeah.
If you're gonna,
I'll tell you how I really feel. So.
If you're gonna put hair on, you spray paint it on. Don't do the hair plugs, man. Spray paint.
That's exactly right. So that's exactly right. So yes, exactly. Real quick, some predictions here, guys. 2-pair, who you got in that Georgia at Mississippi State game? Is that going to be Georgia's finally unraveling and Mississippi State gets one, or does Georgia continue with their 9 Lives tour? Two-pair?
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, no. Who do you got? Real quick, Mario smells like Zion Williamson's girlfriend. Yeah, pretty much.
God,
That's horrible. But anyway, prediction: Georgia at Mississippi State. Do you? Which? It's a battle of the Bulldogs. Does
I like
Georgia's
Georgia.
9 lives? You like Georgia?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like Georgia.
Yeah.
I like Georgia.
I want to pick Mississippi State, but I just think Georgia's a little bit tougher in the trenches. I like what Gunnar Stockton's doing. He's managing the game, and I think that Georgia escapes close, Kerry. But who do you got in that one?
I think Georgia wins in overtime. I think it goes OT.
I like it. I
think it goes OT, but I think Georgia escapes.
Gotcha. BYU at Texas Tech. Kerry, who do you got in that one? That's the game day game, and of course somebody will have a leg up to get to the Big 12 and possibly the college football playoff.
Yep, this is not an elimination game. It's pretty close to it will be if Texas Tech loses. It's an elimination game. I believe it is going to be a tight game, but I like Texas Tech at home by 3. I think it's going to be that type of game. BYU's very disciplined, plays good football. They don't make a lot of mistakes. So I think Texas Tech will win, but I think it'll be a close one.
Gotcha. Two-pair, who you got in that one? The Red Raiders or the Cougars?
I like the Red Raiders in Lubbock, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you this, man. I did something stupid last week. I kind of said that Texas Tech might be on upset alert, man. They just handled business, and honestly, I still don't know how they lost that game to Arizona State, but I think they got it out of their system. I really like their coach. I like their offense, and I just think that the being in Lubbock, give me Texas Tech. If it was in BYU, I'd give BYU a chance, but I like the Red Raiders. They're going to roll it home on Saturday, so good for them. So, two-pair, who you got? A&M at Missouri. You know, Missouri's got that backup quarterback. It's in that 3:30 slate of games. Does A&M keep rolling, or does Missouri pull off the upset?
Man, I like A&M, and I like what Mike Elko is doing, and I just don't see them losing. And I feel like they can. It's a gauntlet because I think they're looking forward to that Texas game coming up, and I think there's a lot of eyes that's going to be on that game.
Mm-hmm.
And so they owe them an ass whipping, by the way, from what happened last year.
Yep, they do.
I like the 12-man and the Aggies.
Yeah, I like them too. Yeah, I have to go with them. I've been preaching about Elko all year. The Reed kid, there's nothing more to say about how great he's been. And then Owens and then that offense is just so fun to watch. And then their defense is finally starting to catch up with the offense. Give me the Aggies. Kerry, who you got in that one?
Future SEC champions, Texas A&M. I think Marcel Reed and that offense is just so potent and so explosive. I don't think Missouri, as good as Missouri can be at home, I just don't think they can outscore. I just don't think they can keep up with them. I like A&M to win, but eventually by double digits. I think it'll be that type of game that Missouri will hang around, but I like Texas A&M to eventually get control and take it out and win by double digits.
You know what's so crazy about this that I was just thinking about what Elko's done in these 2 years with A&M, and all the time that Jimbo wasted there and the money that they spent. And I mean, Elko's making the money he's worth and everything. But what I'm just getting at is, man, they're finally getting a return on their investment. And how ironic would it be that if A&M runs this table, you had the Longhorns last year as SEC champs, and then you've got A&M as the SEC champs this year. Could happen, you know.
And not just with Jimbo, Kevin Sumlin before that.
Kevin Sumlin before that with Johnny Football.
Finally, the investment. Finally, it seemed like everything is paying off. It looks like the stars are finally aligning for Texas A&M to win the SEC.
Yeah,
and possibly be either at worst the number 2 seed in the playoff.
Yeah, they probably will be the 2 seed because you got to think Oklahoma and Indiana will
Ohio State and Indiana will play each other in the Big 12 in the Big 10 championship game.
Correct. Real quick, two-pair, Oregon at Iowa. Oregon kind of looked shaky against Wisconsin a couple weeks ago. Iowa, they finally have got it together, and that's another 3:30 game there. And I believe it's the Fox game, if I'm not mistaken, Kerry.
That's a
CBS game. It's a CBS game. Excuse me. So game. Yeah. So who do you got? Two-pair, Oregon or Iowa?
I mean, if I've been kind of back and forth because I like Oregon, but you know what? I'm gonna stick with it, man. I'm gonna stick with my guns. I'm gonna take Oregon on this one.
Good pick. Good pick.
I'm gonna take Oregon. I just haven't seen Iowa win like one of those big ball games. You know what I'm saying? And I like Dan Lanning a lot, and I feel like that Wisconsin game was a telltale sign, though.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, I mean, it's there for Oregon's for the taking. I mean, if they can win this one and take care of USC and Autzen next week, that will be all she wrote. That they should wrap up their spot without even having to play in the Big Ten championship. So, but Kerry, who you got in this one? Oregon at Iowa.
It's going to be a tough game in Iowa City, but I like Oregon. I think Oregon has more horses, and I think it's a tough game, but Oregon, I think, pulls away at the end. I like Oregon, and I'm like you. They beat USC, finish up the season 11-1. They're going to be in great shape to make the playoff and not even have to worry about playing in the Big Ten championship game. Let Ohio State and Indiana play that extra game. You get rested up. Possibly, you might be a top 4 seed. You might be a top 4 seed without playing in the Big Ten championship game.
Exactly.
Which would actually be huge for them because they're not last year they were the number 1 team and you got fed with either Ohio State and Tennessee. I think this year you're not going to have that luxury. You may get somebody more if you're liking it, and it won't be a home game in Autzen. It'll be one of the big bowl games that you end up getting a bye to.
That's true. That is true. So yeah, no, I like that. I wanted to pick Iowa, but the way you guys were talking just now, I just think that Oregon's just got too much firepower. I don't think Iowa's got the offense to keep up with them, and so forth. And let me tell you this: if Oregon lays an egg in this game, they've got no one to blame but themselves. So give me the Ducks. Give me the Ducks in this one.
And they'll be out.
Yeah, and real quick, LSU at Alabama. I'm going to take Alabama in this one. I think that maybe LSU gives it a spirited effort for a quarter, but I just think Alabama's found that second gear, and right now it's looking like it should be Alabama and A&M if they all take care of business. That'll be them since Alabama's got the tiebreaker over Georgia and Georgia's got the tiebreaker over Ole Miss if everybody wins out. But give me the Crimson Tide. Two pair. Who you got? Alabama or LSU, brother?
Man, I like Alabama in this. I don't know if LSU has got anything to play for.
Yeah. It's kind of sad. We were looking at this as maybe a potential top 5 matchup, and one team did their part. The other one just completely done at this point. Who you got, Kerry?
I like Alabama. I think, like you said, I think they'll give them a spirited effort in the first and second quarter, but then Alabama pulls away.
Yeah.
Alabama's too talented. Ty Simpson is not only looking at probably an SEC championship game, but his draft stock is rising. He may be the second quarterback picked in this April's draft. So he's looking at major stock. His stock has gone up big time.
Yeah. I am surprised ABC went with that game. I know why they did it because of the rivalry and the names and everything like that. But honestly, it would have been interesting had they made that A&M Missouri game at night. Maybe that might have made the Missouri, a little bit. The freaks come out at night over there in Missouri and Columbia. So
I think if their starting quarterback had been there, I think it probably would have been a night game.
Probably they maybe beat Vanderbilt, and you're not even talking about Vanderbilt.
Because there's some off teams. There's some teams that are off this week in the SEC, which is why you don't have the quality of games that you have.
This is correct. Tennessee's not playing this week. You're right about that. No,
Texas is off this week, so you don't have that name brand bit this week.
Yeah, and Ole Miss is off, right? Or who?
I believe so. No, I think they're off.
They're off this week before they've got a big one next week. Ole Miss does. So
but next week is big games.
Big games, yeah. Next week's a big week. So well, guys, great show as always, man. I mean, we went late tonight, but I will say this much: there was so much to talk about, and I'm glad that we got to it all and so forth. Good luck to the Rebels Friday night. Do what you guys got to do, man. We believe in you. We're all in. So just do your thing, and like I said, I mean, I just am excited excited about this college basketball season, and I'm excited about the games this weekend with college football and where we go with this playoff. Kerry, final thoughts, and Two Pair close us out. So yeah.
Take care of each other, guys. It's hard to believe we're in November now. It is so hard to believe it's 2 months left in the year 2025. Got a lot to look forward to. We still got to see. It's the last third of college football season. We got the last half now of the NFL. We got NBA getting going. We got college getting going. Hockey's getting going. Had a great World Series. It's been a good year for sports, and it's going to keep being better and better and better. We got so much stuff to look forward to. And not just that, we got a lot to look forward to life. We got Thanksgiving coming up this month, Christmas next month. We got family stuff. Take care of your family. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other, man.
Yeah,
this is my favorite night of the week. I get to be on here with you guys.
Yeah,
it's nothing better than this. There's nothing better than this, man.
No, this is awesome, and thanks to Shane. I know he's been killing it with work and everything, and I know he had to leave early, but yeah, just I appreciate everybody. Honestly.
Exactly,
and
you got to
get the chat box, and everything. And Two Pair, the way you go hard, and all the things you do for the middle school basketball and everything, brother. I appreciate you, and I can't wait for you to be back there at West High Gymnasium calling the girls and the boys game, and we're going to try to get Coach Graves on. He couldn't be on tonight, but he did say he wanted to be on in the future, and maybe we can get Coach E on, and we can talk to those guys and so forth. So yes, and I do have something next Wednesday. We will have a show, but I might be just a tad late getting to it, and so forth, just because I have been invited to attend the girls' soccer banquet next week by Coach Castro.
Fantastic!
So, and I hope to maybe get some interviews with Coach Castro and the girls as they reflect on a fantastic season. Nothing to hang their hats on, and the fact that we did 2 game day shows from their senior class, winningest class of all time with 51 wins, and it was awesome that they were honored in the second quarter during the West Powell game last week. So that was awesome. So,
fantastic, man.
Yep. So, Two Pair, close us out, brother.
Well, man, if you stayed on this long, you stayed on and heard a great conversation of high school to college to pro, and just giving you guys just a perspective from the ones that's watching the games. So we appreciate y'all. Thank you for allowing us to, come into your homes and for you to even watch this. So like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Look at that, 126 subscribers now, over 18,000 views, baby. We growing. We're growing. And as we get more shows on the channel, we're going to get more subscribers, more things that are more of an interest to you, the audience. And again, you just tell us what you want to hear and see, and we will talk about it, baby, because that's what we do here. That's it. It's all about that cause. And let's throw up them dubs real quick. And guys, have a fantastic week. Go Rebels, and let's see what happens. So we are out. Been a long one, but thanks for hanging with us.